but trust us, we are deep into December in what has been an outstanding 2024 here on ProBox TV. But we're not thinking about the past, we're thinking about the future. A great 2025 coming. We kick it off tonight with a great card. That's right, Dante Benjamin versus Aaron Casper. If you're gonna get a drink, don't do it in this fight. Dante Benjamin is a knockout machine. None of them passed round number 3. A huge test for Aaron Casper. Next, it is 10 rounds in the bantamweight division. Katsuma Akitsugi from Japan, 11-0. Only 2 knockouts, but he pitched a shutout last time on ProBox TV. Best performance of his career. But Atsen Palicte, big for the weight class, aggressive, and looking to right the wrongs of his last couple of fights here tonight on ProBox. Luis Nunez versus Leonardo Baez. Luis Nunez 19-0, 13 knockouts, an outstanding boxer. Leonardo Baez, the tough Mexican, great straight punches, looking for redemption after a year out of the ring. And in our main event, Jonhatan Cardoso from Brazil. He is 17-1, 15 knockouts. Eduardo Ramirez, a great body puncher, great straight punches, but can he walk through the fire tonight? That is the question in our main event. Welcome, everyone. First off, a big thank you to all the fans who have been with us throughout 2024. It has been an outstanding year. Jimmy Smith, alongside the champs, Chris Algieri, Paulie Malignaggi. Chris, when you look at this main event, we look at Cardoso's power. That's what he's great at. 15 knockouts in 17 wins. But in the Adam Lopez fight, his strength can be a weakness. He likes a brawl.
Yeah, I mean, listen, you don't get the name Maximo for nothing. The guy fights with maximum effort. And when you have maximum effort, that leaves holes in your defense. He brings a ton of offense. Listen, you said it, 15 KOs and 17 wins. But listen, that one loss, he's been stopped.
Quick.
So, yeah, has been stopped very, very quick. So, listen, he's an all-action guy. When Maximo fights, it is all action from the opening bell.
Yeah, Eduardo Ramirez, his opponent, good body puncher, good straight punches, but he lacks some footwork. He's there to be hit.
Yeah, he kind of lacks that element of what the eye-opening thing, you know, that he doesn't have that one eye-opening thing, but he's pretty good at everything, you know. He'll go to the body well, not great footwork, but you know what, we don't mind that, because if Cardoso can get to you, that means you can hit him. Not he can hit you, but you can hit him as well. That's what's going to be fun about this fight. Neither guy has to search for each other. Neither guy's going to go anywhere. They're both pretty hittable. Can Ramirez's body punching slow down the power of Cardoso? Because Cardoso does have that big power with a lot of knockouts.
Yeah. Sounds like a ProBox main event.
You know what? I think you might be right, Chen.
How about the co-main event? Luis Nunez undefeated, taking on Leonardo Baez. Let's start out with Nunez. Paulie, many times he's been brought in, let's face it, against defeated opposition, away from his home turf. He's been brought in to lose. He still has that O. That says a lot.
You know what? He's got one of those things called character. You know, we over-mention it sometimes. He got that backbone. He can show up in your backyard and beat you. Tough crowds don't mind. He doesn't mind it. Last-minute opponent, you know what? He doesn't mind it either. He is fighter through and through. And you like these kind of guys, you know, you can put them in different spots, and on ProBox we like guys like that because we like to put you in difficult spots. And Nunez is going to be in a difficult spot tonight because Baez has been away for a while. He's hungry.
Yeah, Baez has been away for a while, but Chris, when you look at it, he's taken on great talent. He's one of those guys who can rely on his experience in a tough fight. That's what he might have tonight.
Yeah, I mean, he's been in the ring with 2 former world champions, and he's fought world title challengers. In terms of experience, this guy has whipping the floor with Nunez. Nunez, yeah, he beat a lot of undefeated guys. Sometimes the undefeated guys are easier than the veterans because, listen, they've been to the top. They've been at the highest level. They know what it's like.
Yeah, but the question is, we all know, a year out of the ring since the Ray Vargas fight. Could ring rust be a factor in this fight, Chris?
Absolutely, but I think based on his experience and the tough fights he's been in, I think a little bit of time off is actually going to be a good thing for Baez.
And we start out with our tale of the tape for our first fight of the evening. It's one of those things you gotta know. You're just starting out in your career, only his second pro fight, but taking on a very experienced opponent. Mendez from Austin, Texas, just beginning, 19 years old, but his opponent, 44 professional fights. That is never an easy task. Let's get it going.
Ladies and gentlemen, we welcome you to an evening of world-class professional boxing at the ProBox Event Center. Tampa, Florida, this contest. Set for 4 rounds or less in the lightweight division. Arrancamos con la acción. Este duelo 4 vueltas. División peso ligero. Los jueces son, the judges are Braden Jackson, Shammy Shipman, along with James O'Connor. At the sound of the bell, the man in charge of the action, referee Christopher Young. Presenting first, in the blue corner, presentando la esquina azul, vestido de rojo con vivos blancos, he steps in, wearing red with white trim on the scale. He registered an official 136 1/4 pounds. Sobre la báscula, marcó un peso oficial de 136 libras y un cuarto. Esta noche, este veterano aguerrido sube al cuadrilátero de ProBox TV en su 45º combate a nivel profesional. Tonight, this battle-tested veteran enters the ProBox TV ring in his 45th professional bout. Fighting out of Chinandega, Nicaragua, Edwin Tercero. His opposition in the red corner. Su posición en la esquina roja. Vestido de azul con color plateado, he steps in wearing blue with silver trim. His official weight, 136 1/2 pounds. Su peso oficial, 136 libras y media. Tonight, this teenage boxing phenom enters the ring for the second time as a pro with a record of 1-0. Esta noche, sube al cuadrilátero por segunda vez a nivel profesional con récord de una victoria. Representing his homeland of Guatemala and repping the ATX, Austin, Texas, Amador, the blindsider Mendez. With final instructions, referee Christopher Young.
Red corner, blue corner. All right, everything's illegal up here. Okay, you see the instructions dress room. Respect tough, clean fight. And my commands all the time. Protect yourselves all the time. Touch them up.
Your eyes do not deceive you. That's right. In one corner, Tercero has 44 professional fights. His opponent 1-0. Chris, we're just getting older, man. I got shirts older than this kid.
Yeah,
19 years old.
19 years old. And listen, I was talking to Adam Lopez, who was coaching one of the fighters in the preliminary bouts this evening. He's like, oh, I've seen that kid. He could really fight.
Yeah, I mean, you got to believe in him. But even if there's not a winning record on the 44-fight veteran, I mean, so putting a kid in with who just won pro fight, like 44 pro fights, that's ballsy.
And at 19. I mean, I turned pro at 19 in kickboxing.
Good body shot.
Nasty liver shot there. I remember being in there with grown men. It's different.
Man strength doesn't quite hit you until your mid-20s, but right now this 19-year-old working the ribs very, very well. And he's fighting with 19-year-old confidence. Might be over in round number 1.
Yeah, that was a liver shot. That's.
And that wasn't the first one.
No, that was a couple.
Tercero is shaking his head, and it is over.
Yeah, he's still in pain, grabbing that right side.
That's how you overcome the experience deficit, right? You want to say, oh, you put in a hot amateur prospect, you still don't put him in with a guy with that many pro fights, even if he doesn't have a winning record. Well, when you go to the body, like Amador just did, you know, you kind of compensate for the lack of pro experience there.
Amador Mendez, his second fight, first knockout of his pro career. Paul, you say it all the time. Don't let a veteran get rounds.
Yeah.
Because they'll realize what they can do. He didn't get rounds.
Use that youth experience, use that youth energy, not that youth experience, that youth energy. And that youth energy sometimes overwhelms the veteran tactics because it creates a pace they don't like to handle. When you get a little older, you like to be able to take your time and use those veteran tactics. You just stayed on him, bullied him, and went to the body big time.
Beautiful. See, look how he cuts an angle. Ooh, cuts an angle there. Left hook, double left hook to the body. Body, double left hand. That shows supreme confidence in that left hand.
Yeah,
Gets hit with a cuffing shot there, but he steps around away from that looping shot. Lands that double left hook to the liver. That's all she wrote.
And we had noticed a good left hook to the body maybe 30 seconds earlier, right?
Yep.
In the first 10 seconds of the fight, it was a good, snappy left hook to the body that we saw already got to Sarah's attention.
And gentlemen, it's one of the things you talk about. In the amateurs, they don't score the body punches like they should. They don't score them in the pros either, but some of you learn.
They still hurt, though.
Yeah, but it's so early for him to be such a good body puncher.
Absolutely. But you know what? Sometimes those Central American fighters, they like that.
Lupe Contreras, make it official.
Inside the ProBox TV ring, this bout concludes with an official time of 46 seconds of the opening round. Damas y caballeros, este combate concluye con un tiempo oficial de 46 segundos del primer episodio. Your winner, by way of knockout, el vencedor por knockout, still undefeated, the blindsider, Amador Mendez.
Amador Mendez, that's a name to remember in 2025. His second win in the pros, looking absolutely fantastic. First knockout of his career. He's got the smile. Chris, what do we say? If he can fight, he's going to be a star, right?
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. Big old smile. You know, he looked really good. He looked the part, looked strong, he looked fast, he looked disciplined, knew what he wanted to do in there. Again, he had a very experienced guy in front of him, guy with some man strength. Bulldozed him. Showed him that he belonged here. Showed him that it doesn't matter how much experience you have. I have that youthful energy, and I'm better than you.
And when you got young, aggressive guys that know how to fight, so they know how to be aggressive properly, makes them exciting.
And it's one of those things where came out against a veteran guy, as you pointed out, Paulie, made it about athleticism, strength, speed, all the things that 19-year-old has in spades. So we add in 2024 another knockout to our list. It has been an amazing year of finishes. That's right, from January to December, if you turned into ProBox TV, and once again, a shout out to all the fans who have been with us all year. Knockouts of the year, take your pick. They abounded in 2024. We're gonna step in and use power again. Is Mindoro trying to make it 13 knockouts and 13 wins.
Oh, good shot there on the inside.
Oh, what a right hand! This is over! Wow! What a blast from the Filipino fighter in round number 3. Just got started.
My goodness.
That was a big shot. And again, Jim, like we were saying, he's going straight back. You know, and not only that, he's going straight back squared up. You know,
his exits are, his hands are down.
And like I said, he's the one initiating the clinches.
Yeah.
Oh!
Big left hand there. Oh! I told you. Oh my God.
This might be over.
He's gonna get up.
He will not. It is over. Unbelievable performance from Vladimir Hernandez.
He's still trying to convince him he's all right.
Yeah, it's over.
To the right side of the body of Mike Plania. Very right on cue.
He called it. He called it low. No way.
No way.
No way.
No,
That
that's
is one of the worst calls I've ever
Can
seen.
he get a finish here in round 10?
If Palicte didn't lose his footing there, he probably could have forced a stoppage.
And that eye looks worse.
It's all over! Palicte has finished Pereira in the 10th and final round! Bevel did it in the 12th and final round. Palicte gets his 25th.
Absolutely incredible 2024, gentlemen. What I love about a lot of those knockouts, especially Vladimir Hernandez, guys not known for their power, turned up in 2024. Did they not, Paulie?
When you make these matches, guys put their backs to the wall, they're going to bring something out of themselves that maybe they wouldn't have to normally bring if they weren't so tested to that level. These are 50-50 fights, good fighters and great fights, and we get these kind of results.
And on top of that, they know what platform they have here, so everyone steps up. They bring their A game each and every time. So you got two fighters, no B-sides, both bringing their A games. You get explosive results just like that.
Well, speaking of explosive, thinking of dynamic KOs, Dante Benjamin. 9-0-1, 7 of those wins by knockout. Guess what? None of them passed round number 2. He gets it done, and he gets it done very, very quickly. You see the height advantage, the weight, of course, Casper 5 pounds heavier. Also has a reach advantage. The question is, can he make it a factor against a much younger, more dynamic opponent? Lupe Contreras gets a start in the light heavyweight division.
We continue with the action inside the ProBox Event Center this contest. 6 rounds or less in the light heavyweight division. Este duelo a un límite de 6 vueltas en la división peso semi-completo. Los jueces son, the judges scoring the action are Joe Ware, Brendan Jackson, along with Shammy Shipman. At the sound of the bell, our referee is Andrew Glenn. Presenting first in the blue corner. He enters wearing blue with gold and black trim en la esquina azul. Vestido de azul, con colores negros y dorados. Su peso oficial, 177 libras y media. He weighed in officially at 177.5 pounds. With a record of 7 victories against 7 losses, 2 bouts even, 5 of his victories coming by way of KO. Con un récord profesional de 7 victorias, 7 derrotas, 2 empates y 5 de sus victorias por la vía del cloroformo. Representing Hephzibah, Georgia, Aaron Gusmas Casper. In the red corner, en la esquina roja, vestido de verde con blanco, wearing green with white trim, his official weight, 173 pounds, su peso oficial, 173 libras. Después de una exitosa carrera a nivel amateur, esta noche sube el cuadrilátero de ProBox TV, invicto a nivel profesional, con 9 victorias, un empate y 7 de sus victorias por la vía del knockout. After a highly decorated amateur career, tonight he makes his ProBox TV debut as an undefeated pro with 9 victories, 1 bout even, 7 of those victories coming by way of knockout. From Cleveland, Ohio, Dante Free Smoke Benjamin. With final instructions, referee Andrew Glenn.
Gentlemen, got the rules in the back. Follow my instructions, protect yourself. Line look good here, touch them up, step back, ready at the bell.
You heard them say it, a decorated amateur. Dante Benjamin, multiple-time national champion as an amateur. But as a professional, the power game of the pros, he has adapted to it well. Will he get it done early again tonight? So on round number 1, Benjamin in the green, Casper in the navy blue, gold, and black.
Right away with Benjamin. See that stature. Tall, long, wide shoulders, comes out snapping that jab. And like I always say with these amateurs with a big deep experience, you always tell the eyes. They can see, they know their distance, their range. It's a little bit differently. Always so relaxed coming out in round number 1.
It's why Jimmy said don't blink or don't go to the fridge, right?
Well, this is going to be an early one, more than likely. Casper himself, 4 of his 5 knockouts have come in the first 2 rounds.
Piston jab there for Benjamin.
There's actually a lot more feel out than I thought we'd see initially.
Well, you know what? Both guys knowing they got a little bit of power, they may be respecting. But you know what? You can see the heavy hands there of Benjamin, even as he shoots that jab.
Also, he's not willing to break position. He'll stand right there with you. Got hit with a jab there, but he didn't.
Big shots combination.
Heavy right hand. In round number 1, nice left hook, and that is it. It is over. Just over a minute into round number 1.
Hopefully nobody went to the fridge, guys.
Now, what did I say? Now is not the time for a snack.
That was a heavy right hand. We could
he stepped in hard on the initial jab, so he closed the gap, and then he got a lot of weight on that right hand, and it landed in a bad spot. When it lands behind the ear, I feel like on the chin it'll buzz you.
Yeah,
but
you can recover those.
Behind the ear, it buzzes you, but it actually hurts. Like on the chin, I feel like when I get it on the chin, it doesn't hurt. It just like wobbles you, but behind the ear gives you a bad headache too.
And also,
you got to give me the headache on top of that.
Not to mention your legs end up in the 3rd round. Third row. You're just trying to figure out where you are.
Your equilibrium. And that's where Casper actually tried to get up. He stumbled the first time. Then when he did get up, although the referee had already waved it off, he kind of fell back into the ropes too. So good stoppage by the referee. I usually don't like when they don't count, but this guy wasn't going to be able to continue. Good shot there.
Yeah, he steps in behind that jab, puts himself in position. Actually, it was partially blocked. He punched right through the gloves.
The heaviness of the shot.
Like I said, we could hear that ringside. It was a heavy shot.
Actually, no, you see? It didn't block. Right on the temple. And look, he's actually going to stumble if we get that. Look at that.
Bang, yeah, right past the glove, yeah. Right kind of high in the head, temple shot.
He set the glove too far back.
Yep.
Gentlemen, you can have power, but the education of throwing the right combination at the right time, is that what we saw tonight?
Well, like I said, he wasn't breaking position. Even when he got hit with the jab, he's like, all right, I'm going to step through that. I'm going to step in. Now I'm going to land my jab, and now I'm in good position. And he can pick where I'm going to throw that punch now because he was so controlled and had such good balance. That's why he was able to deliver such power with a heavy hand.
And the understanding of that position game, that comes from a lot of amateur experience. Because, you see Benjamin doesn't have a lot of pro experience. You can see that understanding comes from the amateur experience already. He's been well taught.
And Lupe Contreras will make it official. Another great knockout in round number 1.
Inside the ProBox TV ring, referee Andrew Glenn waves off the contest with an official time of 1 minute, 4 seconds of the very first round. Dentro del cuadrilátero de ProBox TV, El referee Andrew Glenn detiene el combate con un tiempo oficial de 1 minuto 4 segundos del primer episodio. Your winner, by way of technical knockout, el vencedor por knockout técnico. In its ProBox debut, Free Smoke, Dante Benjamin.
Gentlemen, you got your bingo card for 2025? I think we put a couple names on it already. Here at ProBox TV, 2 outstanding finishes early in our first 2 fights. Amador Mendez getting it done in round number 1. Dante Benjamin getting it done in round number 1 as well. It's a light heavyweight to keep your eye on. He improves to 10-0-1. 8th knockout of his career. And once again, under round number 3 for all of his knockouts. That's a man who doesn't get paid by the hour. Well, backstage, Jonhatan Cardoso, our main eventer, is with Jim Sorensen. Let's hear what he has to say.
Hi, this is Jim Sorensen here backstage with our main event fighter, Jonhatan Maximo Cardoso of Brazil. Jonhatan, so happy to have you back here on ProBox. This is your 4th time on ProBox TV. How is it to be back here at ProBox?
I'm super excited for tonight. It's my timing. It's timing of God. I'm super grateful for ProBox giving me another opportunity to fight it again in ProBox TV. So I'm grateful, and God is great.
That's fantastic. And you're stepping into the ring with Eduardo Ramirez. Eduardo Ramirez has only been defeated by world champion boxers. That's a big step up. How are you feeling about that? Are you ready?
I'm ready, of course. I prepare so good for this fight. I'm so ready. I'm confident, and I put God first everything in my life. And I think He will give me this fight because He's the great that everybody, you know. So that's it.
That's fantastic. So how long have you been training for this fight? How long have you known about it?
When they call me about like 1.5 months, you know. But I always training. So when he called me, I was training. I was ready. And I accepted the fight. Let's go. That's my time.
You're always in the gym. You are always ready for a fight. So, ladies and gentlemen, there you have it, Mr. Jonhatan Maximo Cardoso, and you're going to see him coming up tonight on ProBox TV.
Our main event from Brazil, Jonhatan Cardoso. Maybe soft-spoken, gentlemen. That's not how he fights.
No, he speaks softly and carry a big stick. That's this young man. He's tall, he's long, he's big for the weight class, but man, he could really punch, especially with that right hand.
Yeah, Katsuma Akitsugi, one of those guys who came into ProBox who kind of Welcome back into ProBox TV. Katsuma Akitsugi getting ready again at a breakout performance his last time out here at ProBox TV. Taking on Aston Palicte. You look at the odds here. What a turnaround this is. A minus 5,000 favorite. Second knockout of his career, his last time out. But that recent specs, he looked so good the last time out. That's got to be what the odds makers are thinking.
Yeah, but when you're fighting a guy with 23 knockouts, I mean, to be negative 5,000 is a little out of control. Especially in our era where we have upsets all the time.
Exactly. See, similar height, similar weight, slight reach advantage for the fighter from the Philippines. This has all the makings of an absolute war. Japan versus the Philippines. In the outstanding fight, can it continue for Akitsugi? Let's go to the ring and get it started.
We continue with the action inside the ProBox Event Center, Tampa, Florida. This contest is for 10 rounds in the bantamweight division. Este duelo, 10 vueltas, división peso gallo. Los jueces son, the judges are James O'Connor, Joe Ware, and Brendan Jackson. Our referee is Christopher Young. Presenting the blue corner, presentando en la esquina azul, vestido de negro con color gris, he steps in. Wearing black with silver trim, he weighed in officially at 117.5 pounds. Detuvo la báscula a un peso oficial de 117 libras y media. En 35 combates, mantiene un récord de 28 victorias, con 6 derrotas, un empate y 23 de sus victorias por la vía del knockout. In 35 professional bouts, he maintains a record of 28 victories against 6 losses, 1 bout even, 23 of his victories coming by way of KO. From Bago City, Negros Occidental, the Philippines, mighty Aston Palicte. Across the ring in the red corner, wearing green with white and red trim en la esquina roja, vestido de verde con blanco y rojo, su peso oficial 118 libras y un cuarto, his official weight 118.25 pounds. Tonight, he returns to the ProBox TV ring, an undefeated professional with 11 victories, 2 of his victories coming by way of KO. Esta noche regresa al cuadrilátero de ProBox TV con un récord invicto de 11 victorias, 2 de sus victorias por la vía del knockout. Representing his homeland of Wakayama, Japan, and fighting out of Hollywood, California, el cohete japonesito, Katsuma Akitsugi. With final instructions, referee Christopher Young.
All right, champ, listen, your truck's a little hot, so everything off the camera signals are good. You can find right here. Champ, your sheet instruction dress room. It's been a tough, clean fight. Been my commands all the time, protect yourselves all the time. Touch them up.
On paper, only a 1-inch height advantage, but Aston Palicte maybe stands a little bit taller. He looks like definitely the bigger man in the ring tonight. You pointed it out, Chris, the disparity in knockout power. Fight from the Philippines, a veteran of world title fights. Can he make his power a factor tonight? Round number 1.
That's the thing about it, a guy like Palicte, he's been susceptible and he's been knocked out, but Akitsugi's not a start fast puncher. He breaks you down. He got a stoppage his last fight. He was fantastic on our air, but he broke his man down and got the stoppage late. Palicte is more susceptible early.
Most things, Paul, you talk about the mental pressure a fighter like Akitsugi brings, right? You talk about it breaking people down. He's always in your face. He's always right here. Yeah, this is where he likes to fight.
That's what he wants to do. He wants to apply that mental pressure, right? He's not the biggest puncher, but if he keeps you constantly stressing about what kind of shots he's going to throw, he's got a good punch selection as well. Though there's
flash of heads already.
Flash of heads, lefty versus righty. You got to be careful.
Also, a puncher versus a guy who takes space away from you. We might see that a lot.
Yeah, exactly. And, you know, Akitsugi's not the harder puncher in most of his fights, right? He doesn't have many knockouts at all. So by sending you backwards, a lot of guys who do hit hard, when they go backwards, their punch power becomes null and void.
And Paulie, is that something not enough people talk about, where you go, hey, you're not a big puncher? Yeah, I'm never a big puncher. I have to deal with this every single time. It's when a power puncher faces another power puncher where it's a problem.
Yeah, placed right with left hand to the body. I love that shot from his southpaw, that shovel punch down low. It lands to the liver. Akitsugi set that up beautifully.
But Palicte
right hand
comes right back.
Answering back with the right hand.
One thing about Akitsugi too, he got a stoppage last time, so he doesn't want to be in too much of a rush now, starting to come out of his red body shot to the gut there by Akitsugi. And it takes a right hand. That's what I'm saying. He doesn't want to come out of his own style too much, looking to, change his identity based on, him getting a little cocky from the last result he got, which was a stoppage. He got there with the stoppage based on doing his best work and not just not looking for the knockout. So he's got to stick to what got him there.
So what do veterans say? The knockout comes. You don't look for it, right?
Well, it's like baseball, right? You swing for a home run, you strike out. But if you just kind of let it come naturally, a lot of guys.
Well, that's that stat, right? Home run hitters have the most strikeouts.
Yep.
A lot of guys who go for it, like our guys in the main event. Cardoso, you go for it. Sometimes you get knocked out.
Live by the sword, die by the sword. And right now, Akitsugi, we're seeing the back and forth here. You pointed out, Chris, he likes that shovel body shot, but every time he lands it, he takes the right hand in return.
Yeah. Palicte knows what he's doing when he's fighting a southpaw. He throws that right hand. He throws it very heavy over the top. You can see the physical power. But listen, Akitsugi's doing something very, very smart. When you fight a power puncher, and Paul, you were good at fighting power punchers just like I was, there's 3 things you always want to do with them. 1, you said, back them up. 2, don't let them rest. When they can charge up, they can get that power back. Number 3, hit him to the body. Sap that gas tank. And Akitsugi's doing all 3 of those really well right here in round 1.
Yeah, punchers like to be able to sit on their shots, set themselves. And Akitsugi, by sending you backwards, doesn't allow you to set too much. So, there's different methods to not letting a puncher set. Akitsugi chooses the aggressive method.
Boxing's like real estate. Location. Akitsugi has had the location he's wanted in round number 1.
That was like 3 or 4 good temple shots on both sides.
When you throw on the cross, he's timing with his cross. So be careful with that, okay? There we go.
Who could control the real estate? Round number 1, that was Akitsugi. Welcome back, ProBox TV. Round number 2, Katsuma Akitsugi versus Aston Palicte. But you can see the strategy of both men. For that man, Aston Palicte, it's time that power counter in response to the pressure of Akitsugi. Does he need to do that a little bit more, Paulie?
Yeah, he's got to start timing Akitsugi on the way in, and it's not easy to do because Akitsugi has a good head movement and he's a deceptive rhythm. That's why a guy who's not a big puncher can pressure you, because he has that deceptive rhythm. People are going to say, oh, how does a guy who's not a bigger puncher walk you down? That's exactly right, with a deceptive rhythm and shooting off that deceptive rhythm. It confuses you and makes you go backwards.
And Jimmy, I'm going to answer what you said. But Palicte, because he's a power puncher, he doesn't necessarily have to do it more. He only has to do it right one time. That's the beauty about being a power puncher.
You know well, it takes gas to fight like Akitsugi, and he seems to have an endless gas tank when things are going his way.
But Akitsugi did have trouble making weight yesterday, so that's something to keep in mind. He's a guy, Champ, you talked about this a lot. We did the big fight breakdown leading up to this fight. Akitsugi is a rhythm guy. When he's on rhythm, he's almost unstoppable. But when you're not on rhythm and you're a rhythm fighter, it becomes a rough night. Yeah. Not making weight could affect that gas tank.
Yeah, and you got to have it. If you want to stay in that rhythm Akitsugi likes, you need that gas tank. I like how he conserves it even though he's working by taking some steam off some of the shots. He doesn't throw everything hard. He mixes the steam on the shots, and that allows you to have a higher punch output. Palicte is trying to get in there and get to the body. Early in the round, he was trying to get to Akitsugi's body to back him up.
Last time out on our air against a very tough Mexican, Jesus Ramirez Rubio. It was this kind of performance, and Rubio just wore down over time.
Palicte doing a much better job this round of holding his ground and setting up for those power punches. We saw a nice left hook to the liver a few moments ago. The right hand has been a consistent weapon throughout.
Palicte has been in 2 world title fights. One was a draw to Dante Benjamin. He was that close to being a world champion. The other one to Kazuto Ioka. If you saw that one, that was a war.
And Chim, you mentioned the struggles to make way for Akitsugi. These body shots by Palicte could maybe come into play as the fight wears on, because Palicte's throwing some good shots to the body this round.
With both hands, the right and the left. Yeah, you can see the power differential between these two. You can just hear it. When Palicte lands, even when it's on the elbow or the gloves, it's loud, it's thudding. And then Akitsugi, it's more touch, 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 bang, bang, bang.
Yeah, Akitsugi sometimes he does a lot of touching because he's trying to open up the deceptive. He's trying to create deceptive openings.
Very good short left uppercut there from Akitsugi on the inside. That was a really good weapon in his last fight as well.
Yeah, he likes to use that shot. He even goes with the shovel shot to the body as well. Both guys have done that. It's a shot that's pretty open from the opposite stance.
I actually think Akitsugi hits hard to the body. And Jimmy, we saw that when we were watching him on tape review the very first time we had. I'm like, hey, this guy hits harder than his record.
Good right hand over the top.
And there we see some of that power. That latent power. Oh, good shot. Nice pull counter, right hand over the top. Left hand over the top, excuse me.
I'll never forget Lamont Roach Jr. saying, yeah, I don't necessarily knock you out, but I hurt you. Yeah. And you can see it. I hurt you and I back you up.
You can see that. Akitsugi really just chops you down like a tree.
But you can see like a few seconds ago, a couple of throwaway punches and a good right hook to the body. There's a lot of deception there. A lot of little touch shots and throwaway shots to create openings for the bigger shots.
I love that guard pull from Akitsugi. He uses that lead hand to pull the hand pull the guard down if his opponent comes back with the hook over the top.
Yeah, a couple of good punches. Yeah, good punches in round number 2.
This is a good step up for Akitsugi. You know, you talk about Palicte has been in world title fights and have been very competitive in world title fights. When you're starting to look for impressive as Akitsugi has, you start to get into these kind of fights.
The rhythm building, gentlemen, in round number 2.
Bang, it was that right hook. That was one of the better headshots that Akitsugi landed. We actually got a reaction out of the legs of Palicte there. There we saw that nice guard pull. There it is again, that guard pull with the lead hand left hook over the top.
You see 2 different methods of deception in those replays. The first one, he used a touch left uppercut to power the right hook. There, like the champ said, in the second shot, it was a guard pull to set up the second shot. So you see, when you don't have big power, you don't look to land the first one. You look to create deceptive openings so that your opponent, maybe he's not getting hit with the full thrust of the power. He's getting hit with good snappy shots, with the shots he doesn't see coming, and then also they're scoring clearly.
And I like it, we got to see both corners there. Yep. Akitsugi looked fresh as a daisy. Palicte looked like he's in round 10.
Deep breaths. Deep breaths. As we start round number 3. Look at that pressure angling off. Beautiful power shot from the southpaw stance.
Well, guys, he found his rhythm. Yep. This is what we talked about. Once he finds his rhythm, he's a real problem.
And also the mental side. Paul, you trained with Buddy McGirt, and one of the things he was so good at was kind of staying in the eye of the storm. And reading punches and reacting well. That's what Akitsugi's doing to a T.
Yeah, and that's the thing. When you're at close range like that in the eye of the storm, you've got to have very good head movement, and it helps to have good power too. If you don't have the power, you need that head movement. You need that deceptive punches off that head movement. Akitsugi's doing that beautifully.
Something to watch out for. Akitsugi was cut in his last fight. You see the red mark underneath his right eyebrow, just above the eye, that lead side. Looks a little pink here in round 3, so let's keep an eye on that. Nice jab, cut off to the angle, going out the weak side.
Oh. Akitsugi, 6 of his 11 opponents have been undefeated. If you think he had an easy way up, he did not.
Jimmy, do you see that underhook there that he used? Underhook, step to the side, stepped around, put his hip in right position.
Good shot there.
Beautiful inside fighting from Akitsugi here.
A little bit of wrestling, I love it.
Little bit, just enough.
Call it pummeling, just get inside.
That's another thing, Akitsugi, not a big puncher, but guess what? This guy's strong. I can see it. I can see the way he's able to maneuver his opponents. Watch him back Palicte up. He's a puncher. He's got him on his heels.
Orthodox movement, unorthodox offense for the fighter from Japan.
Palicte had a pretty good round 2. Round 3 here, he's landed next to nothing. Nice body shot. There's that shuffle punch again. Coming up and under around the elbow. Oh, and then switches it up to the uppercut to the face.
Akitsugi, this is Akitsugi. What he does is death of 1,000 cuts. You just start wearing.
It can be more miserable to fight a guy like that. Because sometimes you want to want him to put you out of your misery, but instead he just keeps beating on you. But Palicte's still fighting. Listen, Palicte, maybe he's getting outworked. He's getting out clevered, if that's a word. But you know, he's still in there. He still lands the occasional body shot, and I'm still curious because of Akitsugi's struggles to make weight. If those body shots of Palicte come into play later.
You know, trademark that. Out clevered. 100%. He's got out clevered.
That's a T-shirt idea right there. That's a T-shirt. I wear it.
Oh, good straight left hand there by Akitsugi.
But then Palicte came right back with a body shot.
Just
a nice sweeping right hook.
Palicte just touches here and there, and he makes sure he gets those touches to the body, which again, in the second half of the fight, could maybe come into play, as Akitsugi, we mentioned, had struggled yesterday to make weight.
And Paul, you talk about the transition into the pros. What is important? You said, you know, speed. You know, you got to have a lot of different gears. Akitsugi has 4 or 5 different gears.
Yeah, you got to have that cleverness. You got, and then that's part of being clever, right? We talk about out clever the word, but part of being clever is changing speeds on your shots. You know, it's a lot of things too, changing angles, all that other stuff.
A little bit more, okay? Make them quick. All right? With the pressure, always do. Okay? Move your head, be smart when you're there. Okay? Throw it short punches and long punches when you pull back. Okay? All right?
Don't look at your work after landing nice punch. You
said fresh as a daisy, Chris. That's how he's looking in the corner. Part of it, and you guys talk about it a lot, I couldn't get a guy out there in the first 5 rounds. I had to be ready for a long fight every time. Akitsugi's certainly physically ready for this kind of fight.
Yeah, absolutely, which surprises me they didn't make weight. I wonder if it had something to do with the travel, you know, coming across country. He does train in Hollywood, California, not Hollywood, Florida, which is closer to where we are. So maybe it's something with the travel, but a guy like him who lives in the gym, trains the way he trains, and understands that he's probably going to go the route, has got to be in fantastic shape.
Wild Card Gym, of course, in Hollywood, California. And you guys know, about the gym wars in LA.
Oh, yeah.
Especially his size. Oh. They got some great Mexican fighters. Ooh. And right now, Palicte trying to make it a war.
Look at this. Palicte standing his ground here, trying to throw power shot, trying to get him to trade. Good idea from Palicte, because last round he really got picked apart. Big overhand left from Akitsugi.
Turning it over perfectly.
Both guys now going to the body. Akitsugi is also making sure he touches to the body as well.
Hey, good right hand there from Palicte.
This is not the kind of fight Akitsugi wants, even though he's holding his own.
Now Palicte's backing him up.
That's the thing about that rhythm, though. When it's not working, you're going to wind up getting hit more because you're in that pocket. So if you're going to be in that pocket, it's important to have that rhythm.
And you said it when you were learning this style, Paul. You said it when it worked, it worked great. When it didn't work, it didn't work at all.
It makes you want to go back on the outside and do what you used to do.
It's funny, first, 3/4 of my career, I was always this guy. I was always a rhythm guy. I was an off-rhythm guy. Later on in my career, became much more of a
I feel like you were more pressure later.
I was way more pressure later. I had to. The judges weren't giving me scorecards, so I had to stand and fight more.
Yeah, but this is a different kind of rhythm. This is the inside the pocket rhythm.
Yeah.
It's an aggressive rhythm. I know. I had to go learn this, or had to figure this out when my legs started going away. I feel like Akitsugi's learning it while he's still young. It gives him an extra wrinkle to his style because he can be deceptive. People will not assume him to be aggressive, being he doesn't have a lot of knockouts, but it's a very, very impressive style he fights at.
Last time out, that knockout in the 9th round, not an early finisher to say the least.
But this kind of style from Akitsugi, you can't be lazy at any point. You have to always be firing, going underneath shots, cutting angles, using those underhooks, stepping around, guard pulling, and you cannot rest on your laurels at all. Nice feints here, good up and down. Nice, beautiful rollout. Didn't respond that time right away, but...
Let him go, let him go.
Yeah, Palicte is looking to hold a little bit more now.
Yeah, but he's holding his ground. He's actually backing Akitsugi up, because a couple rounds ago, he was allowing the Japanese fighter to push him back, and that's not where Palicte wants to be.
What do you say? A lot of the time, punchers admire their work. A guy like Akitsugi doesn't. He's almost always out after he finishes his combination.
Well, I remember Deontay Wilder said, listen, you're going to beat me. You got to be on for 12 rounds. I got to be on for 1 second.
Yeah.
So punchers have a whole different mindset.
And Palicte having a much better round number 4.
But is he winning it? That's the thing. I mean, he's landing it enough, but Akitsugi's still doing some good work here in this round.
Got to give credit where it's due. Emmanuel Stewart called them comparison rounds. Those guys sometimes get around because they're doing better, not necessarily because they're winning.
Another guard pull there, and pulls out, makes Palicte miss and reach, touches him to the body.
Gentlemen, Palicte definitely trying to make it rougher in round number 4. A little bit dirtier, a little bit uglier.
Trying to get some respect in there.
Jimmy has to at this point. He can't be sitting on his heels and let the volume puncher push him back. Get a little blood over the left eye now of Akitsugi.
Fighter's flu, right, gentlemen? You take enough punches, you start kind of feeling a little wobbly.
Woozy,
like you know one particular punch is going to do it, but it starts accumulating.
That's Akitsugi in a word. I mean, he's like a swarm of bees. He's just like stinging you, stinging you, stinging you, stinging you. Next thing you know, you're all swelled up.
And Paul, you talked about it. Sometimes it's hard to wake a fighter up when he's facing somebody who doesn't hit hard. You're in the corner, they're going, oh, he didn't hurt me, he didn't hurt me. Like, he doesn't have to hurt you to win.
Yeah, well, they start to hurt at a certain point. When you start, I tell people all the time, no punches are tickling you at 8-ounce gloves, man. They got snap on them there, and they're gonna bloody your mouth, they're gonna bloody your nose. It's not a comfortable feeling.
But also, as fight wears on, and you keep getting your head dinged around, your neck starts to
nice left hand from Akitsugi. Another one.
Right there. You think that tickles?
On wobbly legs for the first time.
Not letting him rest. Going for it here on the ropes. Oh, another big overhand left.
Doing great work to start round number 5.
Kind of pep talk he got in the corner, but he's trying to step it up a notch here in this round and trying to test out Palicte's resistance.
Well, I think they noticed what Jimmy noticed in that, Palicte was standing his ground last round. Akitsugi now is making him pay for it.
Yeah, Soares said, go out there, punch him in the mouth, literally. Get this guy to back up.
You see the cleverness of Akitsugi too. Again, you talk about when the rhythm is on. You see he's at close range. He gets underneath the shots. He gets hit. He's not getting hit clean. When he's on, he's on. There's some moments Palicte has where he's able to land, and when he does land, Akitsugi backs up. But there's a lot of times where Palicte tries to get busy, but Akitsugi rolls, and it's clever in there with the shots. It doesn't let them hit him clean, and is able to hold his own ground.
Look at that angle switch.
I do like how Palicte is staying calm, though. He looks calm. He looks like a veteran. He looks like he knows what he's got to do. He's not being overwhelmed yet.
That's a guy who's been in World Championship fights, right? Exactly. So he knows he's in it for the long haul here.
And I believe he believes in his power.
There's a little cut on the left eye of Akitsugi, guys.
That happened at the end of last round. Looks like a little just kind of slice.
Maybe that's why also he came out aggressive. Who knows? Maybe he got pissed off about that.
Or just his corner being like, hey man, if they stop this on a headbutt, we need all these rounds banked.
Yeah.
Wouldn't surprise me if Akitsugi has won every single round as we get near the halfway point of this 10-round fight. The fighter from Japan, by way of Hollywood, California, the wild card gym, know it well.
Trying to wipe his eye. It's getting in it's getting there. It's in a little bit of a rough spot. He gets it with a right hand there.
It is the back eye though, so he still has his lead eye, which is good. You get to see things coming. We see him blinking there on the inside. There was some head clashes early. Haven't seen many recently, but
you see here, right here, the little work inside. Sometimes guys' heads rub together too. And it doesn't take much to cut you open when heads are coming together and rubbing. Especially when your face is being rubbed with the head.
You can almost feel the physical frustration of Palicte. I can't get this guy off me. What does it take? Hasn't been able to make his power a factor yet in this fight.
Oh, that was a nice, stiff, straight left hand after the body.
If he keeps getting body shots like that, he's not going to have any power to make a factor.
That one hurt him. See, we're seeing Palicte backing up.
Going to the head twice in a row.
He chose to back up there.
Yeah.
Was not forced.
Good straight left hands.
And Akitsugi sees it. He's trying to stay aggressive here.
Fighter from the Philippines trying to find a way back into this fight.
And you know, something we don't talk about with Akitsugi, we talk about his rhythm all the time. We don't talk about his balance. You know, he's got fantastic balance. That's why he's able to stay in the pocket the way he does.
Have it over there.
Okay? You know what to do. Okay? Just get a little bounce though. Don't get too careless. Get a little bounce. Okay? Deep breath.
We are halfway through this fight. That's right, scheduled for 10 in the bantamweight division. In the corner of Aston Palicte from the Philippines. His face starting to show the damage of 5 rounds with that man, Katsuma Akitsugi. It's been his kind of fight. Inside the pocket, no room to breathe, no room to move. Palicte hasn't landed the power to back him up. Can that change in the back half of this fight? This, gentleman, as you guys have talked about, is when damage starts soaking in. Start really feeling it.
Yeah, second half of a 10-round fight. 6, 7, 8. Starting to feel, even though they're touches, like you said, death by 1,000 cuts, those little punctures start to add up.
And that rhythm, you see, it's all little feints, little deceptive moves.
Oh. Short little shot, but big heavy hands from Palicte here.
Just like he did in round number 4, trying to step it up.
You see how hard he's having, he's having hitting Akitsugi clean. That's why he's not. That's why he keeps getting backed up.
Let him go.
It's like it flies with a tennis racket, gentlemen.
Body shot there, another good right
Thudding to the body.
Those are having an effect.
Good follow-up to the head. And Palicte looking to hold. He's looking for a break. Akitsugi not giving it to him.
Was the first knockdown of the fight.
That was a right hook.
4.
That was just a combination, champ.
The body shot started it.
9, 10.
And it's over. Palicte not able to beat the count.
Jimmy, guys, is another super impressive win. Again, we talked about how competitive Palicte was in his championship fights. He ended up with one draw in one of those championship fights, right? This guy, this is a big win for him. Akitsugi has impressed both times on ProBox TV. Tremendous, impressive performance here against a step up in competition from the last time, and still able to look like this and gets his second stoppage in a row on ProBox TV. It's a guy with only 3 stoppages in his career and 12 wins now, guys.
And it's
with 2 of them on ProBox TV.
It's all the best competition he's fought that he's stopping. That's a statement.
And that's the thing, on ProBox TV, you're not going to get any cupcake opponents. We've explained to you how he stepped up here on ProBox TV last time, and this step up, really impressive. Look at the change in speed here. Doesn't accept the clinch after he hurt him to the body. Actually, this is already after he landed the left hand to the head after the body shots. Jim, you made a great point. Before that initial left hand to the head at the beginning of the replay right here, that he had been hurt with body shots. That's why he's looking to hold. He's not looking to hold here because of the left hand to the head. He's looking to hold here because of the body shots he got hit with before. Then the left hand to the head made him realize, man, I'm about to get assaulted and I'm still hurt from the body. Let me try to hold. Akitsugi smartly doesn't let him hold, overwhelms him with punches, and that right hook to that final right hook, Jim, the one you mentioned, makes him say, you know what, I've had enough. Overwhelms him. Great performance by Akitsugi. Change of speed, deceptive style, aggressive yet not a big puncher, and gets another stoppage. Why? Because people just can't figure him out. He hurts you upstairs and he hurts you downstairs. This kid is impressive every time he's out so far, guys.
Chris, a volume guy who now believes he can win by knockout. That's a combination that's A, very rare, and B, very scary.
On top of believing, he's going for it. He started this fight in round number 1, going hard to the body, throwing good shots, picking his punches, not letting up, staying on top of him all throughout. Every time he hurt him with a body shot, Palicte put himself on the ropes. He didn't let him off the hook.
But guys, I'll tell you one thing. That's one thing that's dangerous about having this style. You can't start looking for the knockout. The reason he's been effective these last 2 fights, he knows, hey, I got 1 knockout in all my wins. I don't need to look for the knockout. Let me just let the style organically catch up to you and break you. As long as he does that, he's going to keep doing these performances. The instant you start with this style, trying to change your style, you're going to get hurt yourself.
I think the way he's looking at it is, listen, the way I fight this style ends in a knockout. The end result of this style is you getting stopped, and that's his mindset. I think he's figured it out. It took him 10 fights to figure out how to knock people out. Now he knows how to do it.
Just don't think of a knockout. Let it happen. Let it happen. I'm telling you, when you fight this.
He started faster tonight. He got it in round 6 this time.
He even got hit a little bit more.
You think he got hit a lot last time too?
You know what, Palicte? Hey, it's a former world title challenger. Come on.
He's fighting tough guys.
Paulie is an outstanding advisor. Hire him. Check him out on social media. You can hire him for your corner. Let's make it official in the ring.
Inside the ProBox TV ring, referee Christopher Young reaches the count of 10 with an official time of 1 minute 7 seconds of round number 6. Dentro del cuadrilátero de ProBox TV, el referee Christopher Young completa el conteo de 10 con un tiempo oficial de 1 minuto 7 segundos del 6º episodio. Your winner, by way of knockout, el vencedor por knockout, still undefeated, el cohete japonesito, Katsuma Akitsugi.
What did I promise you tonight? You'd see the future of 2025 in the ring tonight on ProBox TV. Right now, Akitsugi, Chris, his future looking pretty bright.
Yeah, and I hope he's going to be on our air more and more, because each time he has been so impressive. He understands the platform here. He's developed his style to where it is now. He is a future star in the making, and we've seen it right here on ProBox TV.
And probably entertaining. He's fun to watch every time.
Yeah, and again, tonight is no different.
Yep. Taking on a bigger opponent, a guy with knockout power, a veteran himself, and Akitsugi is what is only the 3rd knockout of his now 12-fight career, but you see the momentum, you see the trajectory. It is all on the side of this fighter from Japan, training out of Hollywood, California. Well, 2024, it's our last show of the year. It has been an amazing year on ProBox TV. Let's check out some of the highlights. And so many of them. Angelo Leo, a ProBox TV fighter. Guess what he is now? Yeah, world champion because of performances like this.
Yeah, this was 2 fights before he became a world champion. Our 2nd fight on the ProBox TV air. He was off for 2.5 years. Came back with a big, impressive win against Rohan Polanco. Then he came back and he fought Mike Plany, who's normally a super tough guy and gives people tons of trouble. Not that night. Left hook to the liver, ends it in one of the knockouts of the year on our air. Look at the setup. Beautiful. Bang. Uppercut with the right hand, left hook to the liver. Down goes Plania, rolling around, writhing in pain. Beautiful, perfectly landed shot by the future world champion, Angelo Leo.
All of us have been in that position. If you're in combat sports, that liver shot, when you make that face, you ain't getting up. No, it is over for you.
When you're gripping the rib and you get the squint, the delayed reaction from the liver, nothing like that feeling.
Yeah, it's misery.
Yeah,
it is absolute misery. And this one was award Roman Cardenas versus Israel Picasso.
Man, this fight was all-out action from the opening bell. Remember, Picasso came out guns blazing. I mean, swinging with both hands. Landed some good shots. Cardenas took his time, picking his spots. Started a little bit slow. Was getting yelled at in the corner.
Oh, my God. The cornering was brutal.
Yeah,
it's brutal. More brutal than the fight.
But it worked out because he started to pick his shots really, really well. Here we saw a little clash of heads, but the back and forth became more and more one-way traffic. As we see here, Cardenas picking his spots, fighting off the ropes masterfully, making a miss and making him pay in between. Look at that. Whoa, making all that miss.
And he was a heavy favorite coming into this, remember, Chris? And his corner went, you should not be in here having this kind of fight with this guy. You need to step it up.
Guys, if you can watch this fight back, put on the sound. You can hear the jaw snap when he lands that right hand. It's an audible sound. And then from then on, blood gushing out of the jaw. You saw the jaw was unhinged in the wrong place. Brutal, brutal one-punch finish by Ramon Cardenas.
And Cardenas, of course, turned to his corner going, oh, God, I finally got it. Now, a special night tonight. Of course, that's right, ringside here at ProBox TV. Here's the surprise. Carmen Marquez seeing her brother, Juan Manuel Marquez. They haven't seen one another in years. And the champ getting a holiday surprise. He is so great to work with, a great human being we have next to us. Juan Manuel Marquez, seeing his sister, hasn't seen her in years. Nobody told her she was coming. I got to tell you, we have a great crew here ringside.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, what a touching moment, you know, for the champion there. Surprise for the holiday season, right?
And you see, gentlemen, how it works here on ProBox TV. Jimmy Smith next to the champs, Chris Algieri, Paulie Malignaggi. This idea that you're getting ready for 2025. Can you make your name? Can you make the most out of the ProBox TV platform? I think Akitsugi kind of embodies that in 2024, heading into 2025.
I mean, he went from relatively unknown to being a star on our platform, and I mean, the future's so bright for this kid. I see him being a world champion one day.
Yeah, and when you look at it, the fights we had in 2024, Angelo, Leo, Paulie, a lot of fighters go, man, this guy won a couple on ProBox TV, got that title opportunity, and is now a world champion. Other fighters get title opportunities off of ProBox. It means a lot in this business.
Yeah, you can be impressive here. It means something because people now know the reputation we have. We match you in tough fights. So it's not like looking impressive against a dud of an opponent. You're not fighting taxi drivers. Some of these guys will fight taxi drivers on pay-per-view. Not here at ProBox. We don't even give you taxi drivers here on the app on ProBox TV. So, you know, when you win on ProBox TV, it is all the more impressive, and you get the attention of the bigger names. You get the attention of the big promoters. You get the attention of, you know, the people that have the big name championship fighters, and they give you a shot. And you know what? Angelo Leo found out, like one of our ProBox fighters, he got a championship himself.
And not only what it does for your profile, what it does for your skill set in the ring. This is a battleground. These guys are battle tested by the time they leave this ring. You get a couple wins. I keep saying, guys who do back-to-back fights on ProBox, like, geez, you guys are crazy. You're going to be ready for anything.
And Leo is Akitsugi starting to turn into the new Leo there. Leo was very, very impressive and won them in a world title fight. We don't know how Akitsugi's story ends yet, but you know what? I've been very, very impressed with him. Even guys who have been career journeymen have already resuscitated their careers, like Vladimir Hernandez came here and sort of resuscitated himself as well. I got to tell you what else we got to talk about. It's the brand of ProBox TV itself. Guys, you got to start downloading the app. We have a great 2025 for you. We appreciate all the subscriptions we've gotten. Download the app for 2025. It's going to be a big, big year.
And when we come back, our co-main event, another undefeated fighter looking for the opportunity that is We got to say, Juan Manuel Marquez says he's to spar with his sister. Sister used to beat him up. He said that's why he's such a great fighter now. So we applaud you, Carmen, for giving us a great world champion for our brother. In our main event, Eduardo Ramirez from Mexico. What can he do against a very tough opponent? He's with Jim Sorensen right now.
Hi guys, thank you. I'm here now with our main event challenger, Eduardo Zurdito Ramirez. This man is no stranger to being in the ring. He's a three-time former world title challenger. He has only been defeated by the best in the business. How are you feeling? Welcome to ProBox. How are you feeling today?
Muchas gracias por la bienvenida, por el tiempo y ansioso de salir a hacer mi trabajo y salir victorioso, primero que nada.
I'm so glad to have you now. Zurdito, tell me, you've been preparing for this event. You are up against a guy who has 15 of 17 of his wins coming by knockout. How do you prepare for somebody with that kind of knockout power?
Sí, la verdad, Cardoso es un buen peleador, pero venimos bien preparados para ganar, como siempre. Yo me preparo para ganar como toda mi carrera y creo que mi experiencia y toda la luna recorrida tiene que salir a flote esta noche y así va a ser, primero Dios.
Absolutely. Great to have you. And then the final thing I want to ask. Final thing I want to ask is, how are you? What are you going to do? What does a win here do for you? Does it put you back on the title track?
Pues vienen muchas cosas buenas, ganándole esta noche a Cardoso, que es lo que vengo a hacer, y no me quiero adelantar, pero primero vamos por pasos, le ganamos a esta y vamos para arriba. El cielo es el límite.
All right, that's once again, Eduardo Zurdito Ramirez, our main event fighter. We will see you in just a few minutes.
As we head toward our co-main event, once again, Paulie always say the odds makers just don't know what to do with ProBox TV. Luis Nunez minus 2,000, a huge favorite over Leonardo Baez at plus 1,000. It's a sportsbetting.ag. Of course, Nunez undefeated, 19-0, 13 knockouts. Also an outstanding boxer, great at keeping the range and the distance. That could be the key to this fight. On to our tail of the tape for our co-main event of the evening. Nunez, 4 years younger than his opponent, exact same height, a little bit of a weight advantage, only a 1-inch reach advantage for Leonardo Baez. Baez known for standing right in front of his opponent and throwing leather. Luis Nunez, excellent boxing himself, great range. What do you think of this fight, Chris?
A good size featherweights too. Both guys 5'7", 67-inch reach, 68-inch reach. That's long arms, tall guys. It's interesting there that Nunez came in over the featherweight limit there at 130, but Leonardo Baez is one of those guys, man. He's been with everybody. He's felt world-class power. He's been 10 rounds, been 12 rounds. He knows what it's like in terms of experience. Nunez, yes, beat a lot of undefeated guys, but sometimes making a guy realize that you ain't it is easier than beating the veterans who've been there.
Paulie, what I am curious about at 19-0 is, will he get his eye-opening opportunity right here tonight? But first, let's get it started. Our co-main ready to go.
Ladies and gentlemen, making his ring walk, Luis Nunez.
You are looking right now at Leonardo Baez from Mexico. Nunez making his way into the ring through the ropes. He is from the Dominican Republic.
We continue with the action inside the ProBox Event Center, Tampa, Florida. This contest is our co-featured bout of the evening, set for 10 rounds or less. In the featherweight division, damas y caballeros, este es el duelo coestelar de esta noche. Pactado a 10 vueltas en la división peso pluma. Los jueces son, the judges are Shammy Shipman, James O'Connor, and Joe Ware. In charge of the action, we have referee Andrew Glenn. Presenting first, the fighter standing in the blue corner, He enters wearing the colors of Mexico, green, white, and red, presentando la esquina azul. Vestido del tricolor mexicano, verde, blanco, y rojo. He tipped the scales at an official 126 3/4 pounds. Detuvo la báscula a un peso oficial de 126 libras y 3/4. A nivel profesional, mantiene un récord de 21 victorias, con 5 derrotas, 12 de sus victorias por la vía del cloroformo. As a professional, he maintains a record of 21 victories against 5 losses, with 12 of his victories coming by way of KO. De Mexicali, Baja California, México, puro Chicali, Leonardo, el León Baez. Across the ring in the red corner, wearing black with red and silver trim en la esquina roja, vestido de negro con vivos rojos y plateados. Su peso oficial, 129 libras y 3/4. His official weight, 129 3/4 pounds. In his 20th professional bout, he accepts the most difficult challenge of his career and puts his undefeated 19-0 record on the line, with 13 of those victories coming by way of KO. En su 20º combate a nivel profesional, acepta el reto más difícil de su carrera y pone en juego su récord invicto de 19 victorias. 13 de sus victorias por la vía del knockout. Repping the DR Nagua, República Dominicana, Luis the Twist Nunez. With final instructions, referee Andrew Glenn.
All right, gentlemen, got the rules in the back. Follow my instructions, protect yourself. If you want to touch gloves, do it now. Step back ready at the bell.
And we are ready to go in our co-main event of the evening. Luis Nunez, 19-0. Leonardo Baez, 21-5. A lot of experience in the ring tonight. We are underway, round number 1.
And right off the bat, Nunez passes the eye test, man. He looks like he's the goods. Big, strong, thick neck, wide shoulders. Let's see if he's got the skills to back it up.
And Baez has an excellent left hook. There it is, right away, 2 of them.
Dang. Vicious left hook downstairs and then faked it down low and came upstairs and landed a really, really good shot on the chin.
Minus 1,000, he didn't get that memo.
Yeah.
Right?
Coming off loss to Ray Vargas.
No, was it plus 1,000, right?
Oh, yeah. I mean, he's plus 1,000. His opponent is minus 2,000.
Yeah, he didn't get that memo.
Yeah.
The way he's whipping that left hook in there.
But in his fighting against Ray Vargas, was the last time we saw him in the ring. That was over a year ago. He fought a guy who had a big range advantage, never got inside, but when he did, the few times he did, man, that left hook a big factor.
Yeah, I mean, he's got class power, especially with that left hand. Again, he's been in with class fighters. You said Ray Vargas, former world champion, fought for a world title at 130 as well. Featherweight champ. 5'11", I believe Ray Vargas is. Huge featherweight.
He's got the reach of a heavyweight. It was unbelievable, his jab in that fight. And Baez had his moments getting around the hands. It was a wipeout on the scorecards, but he had his competitive moments in that fight. And Nunez, I mean, talk if you can, Chris, about the frustration. Dude, I'm 19-0, 13 knockouts, and it just feels like I'm not getting the recognition I deserve. I think he might be carrying that frustration into this fight. A lot of time off.
Well, he better bring it into the ring tonight. He has a platform now. People are going to see him. He gets a win here. You bring it to 20-0. You beat a former world title guy, a world title challenger. You fight a guy who's fought world champions. That's a big deal.
Yeah, and especially if you can do it impressively. And also in a fun way, fighting in a fun style. And right now, these guys,
so far, it's been fun.
They've been at pretty close range, both understanding their sense of position is to be close. And they've really ripped all kinds of shots at each other.
That was a nasty lead uppercut from Nunez there off of the right hook.
Baez trying to touch the lights with that left hook. Putting everything behind every punch.
Yeah, Baez looking unfazed by the power shots of Nunez.
This one's scheduled for 10, but both guys swinging big, heavy punches in round number 1.
Not a lot of footwork tonight from these two. Baez may have been off for a year, but he's looking like he got that rust off pretty quick.
He wants that Akitsugi rhythm. He even turns southpaw like him.
Got the same haircut. Why not fight like him? An awkward style. Baez doesn't do this that often.
When you got the experience advantage, you want to try and utilize every trick in the book, especially when you get a young, strong, undefeated guy like Nunez in front of you.
Baez's feet keep slipping a little bit, man. I don't know if the grip underneath his soles is worn out, but it's like that back foot. He slips a little bit.
Entertaining so far in round number 1. How much feeling out here?
Dame la vaselina. Necesito que trabajes más tú ya. Necesito que trabajes más tú. Por eso no me estoy moviendo, neta, quiero hacer caso. Pero está muy resbaloso. Que te haga caso, por favor. Está muy resbaloso.
We're wondering about the layoff for both of these fighters. They had ring rust. They didn't show it in round number 1.
No, they met in the center of the ring. Not a whole lot of footwork. They both didn't have trouble finding each other. So I would say the ring rust was left in the locker room tonight.
Also, Paulie, not a ton of jabs, not a ton of feeling out punches from either guy.
No, you saw Nunez use a couple of them, you know, some stiff ones though. You know, nothing with any kind of deceptiveness to it. Let's see if they start to take some of the sting off the shots to try to create other openings.
We're underway round number 2 of our co-main event. Nunez in the black and red. Baez in the white, black, green, and red.
And as if they just heard you, Jimmy, both guys came out jabbing.
Oh, nice left hook from Nunez. But what do they say about hooking with a hooker?
Don't do it. You can jab with a jab or don't hook with a hooker.
Because Baez more than happy to make that exchange. That is his money punch.
You know, both guys really standing their ground, showing who's going to be Mas Macho tonight. You know, I don't think either one has succumbed at all to the other.
Again, you see that back foot of Baez slipping out when he throws some of those shots. I'm telling you, there's something up with his soles. One time I wore a pair of old boxer shoes in a fight, dude. It was, and they didn't have the grip that I thought they would have.
That's the worst. It's like you're ice skating.
I didn't expect it either. I was like, man, these things are slippery. I had to retire them after that. Sometimes you get attached. I had just have some shoes they stopped making. Remember Adidas used to make the shoes and then discontinue them?
Yep.
So some of the color coordinations didn't exist anymore.
Ooh, nice body shot there from Nunez. Left hook upstairs, downstairs. You saw that little elbow shift from Baez. No, tells you that he felt that one.
And Nunez, one thing he has, you talk about his macho-ness. He's got a poker face, man. I've seen him get in some wars. His expression never changes. Nunez never lets you know that he's hurt.
That's a good sign. He's going to need that tonight because Baez is winging those shots. Left hooks from both
good
sides,
right
left
hand.
and right. Yeah, you're right, champ. Out those feet. That left foot just slipped out now.
Yeah, it's his back foot.
No, that one was the lead one. He got hit with a little shot and it slipped.
Yeah, and it's like he starts feeling like you're sliding. It's weird. It's frustrating too, man. Because even when you go plant to throw punches, your feet don't cooperate with you.
Yeah, he's ice skating tonight. You know what can help with that? If you your corner has a knife and you can cut the rubber sole on the bottom, you get a little more grip.
I don't know if he knows that, because I didn't know that when it happened to me.
I forgot what fight that happened in, but
you had that too?
No, not me. I remember reading or seeing a fight where the corner actually did that. They took out a knife and cut the soles a little bit just to make a little bit of a tread.
Yeah, for me, it was one of my early career fights, but I remember it was a color coordination that it had been discontinued, so I wanted to look cool using it. And that was it. They stayed in my closet ever since.
That goes in the storytelling when looking cool goes bad.
I wanted to look fresh, and so I lost the fight.
Unfortunately, it happened to me a few times.
A nice left hook from Nunez.
Look at that welt on the left arm of Baez. Does that just happen now?
Yeah.
It might have. Some discoloration.
Some black and blue.
Yeah. It looks like a fresh bruise.
Quite a fresh one.
He's caught a few fresh ones from Nunez.
Right on the bicep.
Fighter from Dominican Republic so far looking good.
Don't push him down. Don't push.
Ángulo así. Mira. Así. Así. Pinga. Or así. Así. Or así. Así. Okay?
Look at the corner of Luis Nunez. This is a man who...
They're taping up the shoe.
I just looked under the shoe. They're old shoes. The tread is not. It's smooth. It's smooth in the bottom.
We got good eyes over here in the corner.
Yeah.
We caught this.
Hey, you called it, gentlemen. He was sliding around there, taping up the shoes. Perfectly legal, by the way.
Let's see if they add any grip. I don't know if the tape is going to help that much, man.
Yeah, the tape doesn't last. It's gonna peel off.
And it's not grippy enough either. It's not.
See if it helps. Had some trouble with the footwork. We begin round number 3. Leonardo Baez been sliding a bit.
Dude, Baez is tough, man. No complaints whatsoever about the shoes. Nothing. He's got a big bruise on his arm. Nothing. No. Didn't roll his arm. Didn't tell his corner. Nothing.
He's throwing some fresh ones too with the left. He's slapping.
Swinging them.
He's slapping them. Those left.
Nunez represented the Dominican Republic internationally as an amateur.
Oh, the body shot.
In Russia, you can see the technique.
Baez comes right back. No, Baez hits hard with that left hand. That left hook is mean.
He doesn't always turn it over. Sometimes he's slapping with it. So he gets good whip on him, but
keep him up.
He's always turning knuckles in.
Baez came in good shape. He's working very hard tonight.
A year off, you know what? He came back hungry.
Got a little rest.
Looking for some redemption.
I got that sense from him.
Yep.
You know, sometimes you come back after a year, you're just there for a payday. But you know, with Baez, I got that sense from his body language. And he's fighting.
Body shots, trading them back and forth, these two.
It seems like when either fighter lands a big punch, the other one lands the exact same one. Like, I'm going to get this one back.
They're going with different tactics.
With a body, that's sometimes you get hit with a body shot, and it reminds you to go back to the body, too.
Or when you get hurt to the body, you want to go, you know what, I gotta get us to the same playing field.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a weird thing with psychology with body shots.
Nice. Much shorter punches from Nunez on the inside.
I was about to say, they throw very different hooks when they throw them.
Much shorter from Nunez. And also just so calm. Baez fights with a lot of passion.
You know what psychology is always false when commentators say it? That it's so moronic, it irks me. When the guy smiles, he's hurt. That's not that these guys are smiling. It's so moronic when they say it. But you know what it is? I don't know. You guys have all been fighting like it's more frustration. Like you're frustrated, you hear the crowd, and you're embarrassed. You're like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah. Almost trying to show that. No big deal.
When you're hurt, you're definitely not smiling. You're not thinking about that.
You're trying to recover.
Good exchange here with both guys.
I was stone faced, and you couldn't get anything out of me.
I would smile, but every time I smiled, I was frustrated. I was hurt. Trust me, I wasn't smiling.
Paul, you got a face where you smile, people just want to hit you.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. Well, yeah, but at least I wasn't hurt when I was smiling. That's why I made sure not to smile when I was hurt. I didn't want to get hit more.
Yeah, very true.
Neither one of these guys has smiled tonight.
No, these guys are serious.
It's in the opposite. They've been very serious. A lot of frowns.
Mean mugging and mean punching, too. Every shot has had a lot of mean intentions when they whip those in there.
And neither guy wants to give up ground.
Yeah, both got the same mentality. But you see a little bit of the slapping on the part of Baez.
Now there's a smile, because 3 right hands over the top. Then now he feinted it. He's like, I'm not falling for that.
Nice stab jab from Nunez there.
Don't post him.
Nunez, good head movement.
Just so relaxed.
He's just a very classical boxer.
Yeah.
Just, good fundamentals.
Classic boxer puncher.
Jimmy, something you said, though, not a lot of jabs. You know, he does it. You do see the jabs, but not as often from a classic boxer.
Yeah, it's been mostly power shots. Very entertaining fight so far. What I'm curious about in the corner, gentlemen, you talk about the slapping left hand. They haven't always been super sharp. What could they set up later on in the fight? You've seen a lot of left hooks. What are you starting to set up with it now that it's landed?
When you got a guy who's throwing shots like Baez's that are loopy and going around, every once in a while you throw a straight one down the middle. Your opponent's not ready for it. They're getting used to catching that on the outside of the glove, and then one goes right down the middle and catches you on your beak. You can catch a guy with a surprise shot there because he's expecting the loopy one, and then you throw a straight one down the middle.
Paulie, would you want to see Nunez? We talk about his balance, his fundamentals are really, really good. What would you like to see from his offense you haven't seen so far?
Let's pick up on the jabs a little bit. You know, I like to see him set up off the jab a little bit. Whenever he's used it, it's been pretty good. He's not had to pay for using his jab. When he's used it, I think it has helped snap the head back of Baez, as well as, give Baez a different trajectory of offense coming his way.
Also, the stab jab down below from Nunez has been really good, sharp.
Absolutely, very good. I'd like to see more of those, that's all.
Yeah, it is the reset button on a power puncher. They can't really load when they're getting hit with a jab all the time.
For me, Nunez a little too square, right in front. Yeah, I would like to see him blade it off a little more, which would help with the jab. because right now he's taking away the length of that jab by fighting so square with his shoulders.
Gentlemen, we do our homework, and when you look at both of these guys, first thing that jumped out to me when I was watching them fight is not a ton of footwork. Neither guy is a mover. It isn't tonight. Neither guy fights that way.
And I mean, Nunez, even though I mentioned he's kind of a boxer puncher in terms of the way he looks, his style, his positioning is that of a puncher. Controls the center of the ring. He walks slowly, walks you down, sets himself up with a base shot like that.
A whipping left hook there.
Baez comes right back. Not going to take that lion down. We talked about the cojones of both of these gentlemen. They don't take a shot without giving one back.
Yeah, I always think of those guys who fight behind a high guard. Not a lot of head movement, not a lot of level changing, just guard up. Makes me think of like Winky Wright. Those guys are always physically strong. Winky Wright, not a big puncher, but physically very strong at middleweight and 154. Yeah. Very strong guy. Couldn't back him up.
And speaking of position, a great sense of position from Winky. And he took away your positioning.
But also just getting hit in the arms all the time. You gotta be able to, have strong arms to take those shots.
Well, Winky's a good example of even that jab. Counter right hand there from.
And I like how he came back with the left hook downstairs after that. Low right hand, left hook to the liver.
Well, Winky was a good example of that jab at close range will bust up your opponent's position while holding your position well.
One of the best middle distance jabs I've ever seen. Winky Wright.
Winky Wright, look him up, because this was a guy. I remember he fought Felix Trinidad. Felix had no answer for the jab.
Nothing. He couldn't. That was the only guy who couldn't punch through the guard. Tito hit so hard he could always punch through your guard. Not Winky, man.
Destroyed Sugar Shane twice.
He was from around here.
Yeah, right over here. Tampa, Clearwater, right?
Yep. St. Pete. Yep.
St. Pete. Yeah, St. Pete. Right around the corner. Nunez staying extra calm. Now we see a smile between these two. I feel like there's been a little bit of a break. Yeah. Like Nunez is starting to set himself in as the man in control.
Oh, sneaky uppercut there by Baez. See it?
Now Baez.
Movement. Nice left hand. Now we're seeing smiles back and forth.
Yeah, they got each other's respect.
But you see, he got hit and he smiled. That's what I'm talking about. I was more like acknowledging it or half frustration,
That was a good power jab there from Nunez. Back Baez up.
Oh. Nice short right hand.
Oh, man.
Combinations back from Baez.
Baez showing some good punch resistance tonight. He got hit with some big shots. Left hand's upstairs. And like deceptive shots. Punches you don't really see coming. Little blow from the nose, it looks like, from Baez.
It has been it's been an entertaining fight so far.
A little respect.
Yep. Another high guard guy, super middle, Arthur Kessler. Remember him?
Yeah.
Hands up and he would throw.
Mikhail Kessler.
Mikhail Kessler, yeah.
And Arthur Abraham. Another one. Another guy who fought high guard defense.
Oh.
Oof, man. That's what I mean. Deceptive power shots that Baez didn't see coming, but still took them. Bing. Nice short counter jab on the way back. The both guys smile at each other.
But once again, not that loading shot that Baez is throwing. It's a quick, sharp,
very short.
Whip. Get that whip in there.
No, these guys are very different punchers, like you said, Jimmy. Looping shots from Baez, swinging, sometimes slappy. And Nunez, very sharp, very strong, but short.
Pero gacho. Así. Excelente. Vivo. No vivo.
The issue for Baez is the shortest distance between 2 points is a straight line, and
that's right.
Nunez has got the straighter punches.
Very sharp with the hook. He's a fighter from the Dominican Republic in the black and red. There's Luis the Twist Nunez, putting his undefeated record 19-0, 13 knockouts.
All right, guys, let's stop with the smiling. Let's get back to trying to hurt each other, please.
Could be with the time off. Talked about the ring rust. Sometimes it shows itself late. Sometimes the gas doesn't quite work like it did a year ago. Could Nunez maybe be taking this fight over?
10 rounds in the gym and 10 rounds in a ring on Fight Night are two different things.
See right here, this is that jab distance. You know, you want to see more jabs from both guys. You see, at times they use it, but you know what? They like those lead left hooks more than they like their jabs. These guys.
And to some effect as well. I mean, more so from good counter right hand there for Baez. as Nunez tried to close the distance, but he comes back with a nice double jab.
The problem with the counter right hand is you got to plant on a dime and plant your back right foot, which Baez is having trouble doing with those slippery shoes.
Yeah, good point. Baez showing a different wrinkle to the game here, whipping out that experience, getting a little lateral movement, firing from his outside maneuvers.
A little holding and hitting there, a little kick, getting a little nippy in there. The referee has to give some warnings.
I'd rather that than smiling at each other back and forth.
Yeah, let's keep the bad blood going, guys.
Ooh, good body shot there
by Nunez.
Ooh, and again, every time Nunez lands a body shot,
you saw Baez skated in too on the slippery shoes. You see that?
Oh man! Okay, let's throw hooks. Seems to be the agreement right now in the middle of the ring.
Here we go.
There's no smile when they get like that, guys.
No, there's no time for it.
Things get serious.
As we said, neither man a footwork specialist. They went toe-to-toe most of the time.
Yeah, you can't smile when you're focused on biting down your mouthpiece.
Right. Let's go.
Now you look at the Sterling record, 19-0, 13 KOs, but now he stepped up. He stepped up against a guy who's got experience. He stepped up a guy who's been durable. Even though Baez has been stopped against world-class opposition, he's taken every punch tonight very well. Makes me question those 13 KOs of the Dominican fighter Nunez.
Nunez certainly hasn't tried to go for a knockout. He's thrown good left hooks, but hasn't really had his man hurt.
Yeah, I think Baez is showing a good punch resistance here. Both guys have.
Yes.
Watch the elbows.
Pero en el cuerpo importante. Está bien, cálmate. He said behind the head. And the reason is, and a lot of low. He's got low. That's perfect. Hey, recuerda. Pica y finta.
Welcome to the corner of Luis Nunez. Boxing very, very well so far, but a bit of a fight breaking out in the last round.
Yeah, they started slow at the beginning of that round, but then bang, the guys were going back and forth, biting down on their mouthpieces, really digging deep. I thought that Nunez got the better of these exchanges, but Baez was answering everything he could.
And also, when you look at Nunez, that physique, built like a cobra. Yeah. Very, very strong. Baez does not want to go punch for punch with him.
Wide shoulders, thick neck, and obviously came in a few pounds over the featherweight limit. And Champ, you made a good point about the punch resistance of both guys, showing to be class tonight. And that's a question you have when you have a guy like Nunez. Like, all right, what happens when he gets hit by someone, who's been to that level? So far, so good.
We have pointed out 4 of his last 6 fights against undefeated fighters, never in his home country. Let's face it, you know what that means. Usually you're brought in to lose. He has been able to stay undefeated. When you look at those fights, the ones that are available, what you see is a guy who's just not perturbed by anything. No. He doesn't let the moment get to him, doesn't let the opponent get to him. He sticks to his strengths.
And you see that here tonight. It's just very, very calm, methodical. But I do agree with the champ, Paul Manaja. I would love to see that left hand be a little busier, especially with the jab. Set things up high and low, because he does have a good jab. He pumps it, he throws it high, he throws it low. Just not enough for me.
You see that when they do use the double and triple like they just did there a second ago, both guys did that. But then they'll go away and you go in like a 30 seconds to a minute without using a jab.
Well, it's funny, they just match each other's energy. Whoever's jabbing, all right, now we're going to jab. All right, we're throwing body shots, we'll throw body shots. All right, we're going to wing, all right, we'll throw shots. Okay.
But the fight perhaps belongs to one that kind of breaks the rhythm, because they've kind of shown us the same look from the beginning.
Yeah, I think so, but also I think that Nunez is ahead. He's the guy who's staying in the lead in terms of who's going first.
Speaking of breaking the rhythm, you break the rhythm, but then he's dropping some feints and dropping some level changes there and there. Saw a slight one there from Nunez, but that's a different little things that are deceptive can be used to give you slight advantages. And I think that's why Nunez has been able to have the slight control in the fight more so than Baez.
Also just the physicality. He just seems to be the stronger guy in there. But I think, we keep mentioning the footwork, not a whole lot between these. I think the deficiencies in Nunez's footwork is going to cause him some issues as he steps up in class. he's having trouble closing the distance when Baez chooses to move. It's really important to have that explosive first step. And if you don't have a jab and you don't have the footwork, you get a guy who can move on you, you're going to be chasing him all night long.
You get a guy who can dictate range, which occasionally Baez has done tonight.
And it's not his game either. He's still able to do it. So when you get a guy out there who's actually, that's what he does, I can see Nunez having a lot of trouble finding it.
Slick jab.
Yeah, that's explosive. Yep. Jab from the crouch position.
Head back to Baez, does it again.
I really like that.
Yeah, that's the reason we ask for more jabs. Because when he uses them, it changes the dynamic a little bit in his advantage even more. I mean, he's winning the fight, but you know the dynamic can be even more to his advantage.
I think he showed in that round that he can box a lot better than his record suggests, or that he's shown thus far.
Nos quedan 4 rounds.
Now on Baez to maybe change his strategy a bit. It's been very left hook heavy. Nunez has shown to be, to your point, champ, the superior boxer. Good jab when he throws it. We call that Pez dispenser jab, right, Paulie? Briefly looking at the lights.
Ooh, blood from the nose of Baez there. Starting to see the wear and tear of this fight.
Maybe that's those jabs.
Yeah, especially those double jabs are very hard from Nunez. He's pounding those home.
What do you say, Chris? Jabs and uppercuts ruin your nose?
Jabs and uppercuts ruin your nose.
They bust your lips too.
Yeah, your lips, your nose. Even your jaw. I mean, your jaw. I used to hurt my jaw a lot. I used to get that like.
You know who had that, man? Cotto's jab used to hurt my jaw, man. It was so weird.
And who had a really hard jab but never used it was Ruslan. Oh my God.
Ruslan
Provodnikov, man. He used to go with the hook more than the jab, but every jab
for you, he didn't use it that much.
Thank God he
Cotto used the damn jab.
Thank God he didn't use it more. Well, round number 7, what has been thus far a very entertaining fight. Luis Nunez from the Dominican Republic in the black and red, taking on Leonardo Baez from Mexico.
And that stiff jab again. You know, it's funny, we're talking about the Cotto jab. I knew I wasn't going crazy as I watched Cotto's career. He got knockdowns against Josh Clottey and Alfonso Gomez with jabs.
Yeah.
And when I saw that, I felt better about myself. All right, I wasn't going crazy in there when I was feeling how heavy that jab was.
And then he out-jabbed Shane Mosley. Yeah. That's when I was like, wow, this guy really has a good jab.
And Canelo, too. He had a really good jab.
Yeah, he jabbed well with Canelo, actually. But that was a little bit older, bigger Cotto.
Angelo Dundee famously says Sonny Liston knocked a guy's teeth out with the jab.
Yeah.
And again, oh my God, I can't believe my guy has to fight that.
Yeah.
I would want a refund from my dentist for the mouthpiece though, if that happens. If somebody knocks out my teeth with a jab, we're getting a refund from the dentist.
I don't think mouthpieces were very good.
Somehow, I don't think
they were pieces of a tire taped to the front of your
I don't
teeth.
think dentists have anything to do with a boxing mouthpiece back then.
We see when Nunez stays behind the jab. He does very, very well. Baez every now and then gets into this mode of this lateral movement. Little bit of confusion there.
And you know what? When you change range on Nunez's feet are kind of slow. You know, when you change range on Nunez, you actually can have some advantages. It's just Baez hasn't been consistent with that either.
You know, we talked about, Jimmy, you mentioned how calm Nunez stays. You've seen that when he fought those guys on the road. We're seeing it here tonight. What is an asset can also be bad, because you can lull him to sleep.
He can be a little too composed.
Yeah, you could be walking around the ring chasing you all night and not really being explosive, not really pushing the pedal to the metal. You wake up, you're around 7 or 8. It's like, uh-oh.
And also, look at it, when you think about that next step up, he doesn't really have the style to come back on you. You know what I mean? So far, he's been the leader in this fight, but what if you're down a few rounds? You got to turn it up. Well, you don't know.
Yeah, not seeing a lot of change in speed.
But speaking of that, Jimmy, that's a great point. That's a great segue into what I was just thinking. We were talking about how Nunez hasn't been able to get opportunities, right? And he's got to put on some performances. Is this a performance that's going to get him anything? He's not really sparkling here. You know, he's done well. He's showed those hard punches. He's fun, but not really an ability to change deceptive speed or make even adjustments to Baez. Don't get me wrong, he's winning, but there's things you can do here to impress us a little bit, or to impress these quote-unquote critics, to make yourself more in demand. And Nunez is sort of, like mummying his way through this fight. He's going forward, he's winning. At times he gets hit, he goes back here. but he's not really changing the directions in any way.
And Paul, you talk about it all the time. Like, dude, you're fundamentally good enough to maybe make some good guys look bad.
Yeah.
There's no reward to fighting a guy like that. You know what I mean? You're not a huge crowd pleaser, but maybe you beat my guy.
Yeah.
And it's kind of an awkward fight, right?
Yeah, you're not, and that's exactly what makes you not a demand. You know, it makes you like, you're kind of stuck in no man's land where you don't have a big reputation, but you got a good record, so you're thinking, oh, I deserve something. But when you don't have a big push behind you and you got a good record, you're going to need a little something to, spice the sauce up a little bit and impress people. And I don't know. Nunez has a few rounds left to show us, but right now he hasn't really done that.
Chris,
Angelo, he's winning.
Right, Angelo Leo on our air became world champion. What did he do? He looked exciting, but you saw vulnerabilities that maybe the big guy's promoter would go, okay, he looks exciting, but we can beat that guy. Now, it blew up on him. Angelo Leo's a world champion now, but that combination of, all right, it'll be exciting, but he's got some vulnerabilities. This is one of those guys who doesn't look that vulnerable, but he doesn't look that exciting.
And the opposite side of that coin, Angelo Leo, when he came on our air, even our first show against, a pretty nondescript kind of jobber type guy, looked spectacular and pushed it. And yeah, you know what? He got hit with some shots because he was trying to perform. He was trying to impress. I'm not seeing that from Nunez here, and exactly to your point.
But also, you don't always have to look beatable. If you look there's a history to you, right? So, Leo had a history to him. So even when he looks spectacular, like a Plania stoppage, now you're like, okay, he looks good enough. We know his defects, but now he's good enough to put in this kind of fight. With Nunez, we know his defects already. He's like a mummy, all right? But if he comes in here and gets a big stoppage, now we got his defects, but also we've got something to push him into a big fight with, and he might get that big fight. But instead, he's still like a mummy and nothing else, and it may take a little more than that to get some of the bigger names interested in him.
What I'm curious about, Chris, at this point in a fight, is the corner going, okay, great, maybe you've banked enough rounds that I feel like you're ahead, turn it up a little bit? Is that advice there?
I mean, it needs to be, because listen, Santos, the coach in the corner, he's been on our air before. He understands what kind of fights and fighters we like here, what kind of platform this is. I would hope that they would be imploring him to, hey, listen, we got to build up those jabs. Hey, listen, we got to put some punches together. Hey, listen, we got to break this guy down.
Cut the ring off.
We got to cut the ring off. We got to put some hurt on him. We got to back him up.
Because one thing you're seeing when Baez moves is Nunez is a little bit lost. It's just Baez isn't really working off the move. Maybe it's because he's got shoes that he probably bought at a dollar store.
But not his style.
But I mean, Nunez is thrown off a little bit just by the simple movement.
Yeah, Baez is finding a home by being awkward. I don't think he could match power for power standing right in front of Nunez, which he tried to early on. He ran out of that opportunity to work for him, so now he's being the tricky, cagey veteran.
Landing well with the jab is Nunez, but as you pointed out, Chris, he hasn't comboed off that effectively.
Hasn't built off the jab at all. Lands good single jabs, lands good double jabs, but it's one and done. Lands a jab, I'm done. Lands a double jab, I'm done. No power punches off the jabs.
That left hook that was effective early on in the fight hasn't really been a factor past the halfway point.
Love that level change right to the right hand. We saw
nice left hook from Nunez.
Good snapping shot.
No follow-up though there.
He doesn't test the waters, does he, Paulie? He's like, maybe I got this guy a little hurt. Doesn't really do that. He resets.
And the follow-up is where you change speed too. You land a couple of good shots, and all of a sudden you got a chance to follow up. You follow up with some big speed or some bigger power.
But to you, Paulie, that's the difference between good and great, is that speed shift. And right now, Nunez, I'm not saying he doesn't have it, but he isn't doing it.
No, he doesn't turn up the gears. He's pretty much been in one gear.
There's pretty little more pressure on here though. Baez not moving quite as much.
Baez complaining about a low blow. A referee not signaling anything.
Nunez starting to pour it on here. Baez looking extremely uncomfortable. Not a lot of time left in the round though. Oh, good body shot.
That was a good body shot.
I doubled Baez over there.
Looks like fresh as a daisy. Nothing really on the face of Luis Nunez. Some body shots, were they low? Let's take a look at it. Looks good.
A little bit there. Defend him there a little bit. Yeah, right on the belt line. That would be a discretion of the ref. You also got to look where where the actual belt line and the navel is of Baez. Again, discretionary call by the ref.
And once again, no call from the referee. Either did not see it or did not feel it was illegal.
Again, Baez being the veteran, he's telling the ref the illegal things that are happening, even though the ref didn't see them.
When I was fighting.
Oh, nice uppercut, lead uppercut from Nunez there.
Depending on where you had your cup. You know,
Yeah.
if your cup was above your belly button, then the cup was legal. If your cup was below your belly button, then the cup was low. That was what the referees typically let us know in the dressing room.
Blood from the nose there of Nunez. And that's what I said last round. Nunez starting to look, Baez starting to look uncomfortable.
Oh, good uppercuts coming through the center.
A lot of blood from the nose. A lot of blood from the nose. You see Baez getting broken down here, trying to fight back.
First thing Nunez shows is when he doesn't have to find you. If you're like a punching bag when you're in front of him, he has some good punching angles he creates. When you move a little bit, he doesn't quite know how to create the punching angles.
He's greater than a heavy bag.
We have now deemed this fight smock-worthy. All of us ringside bringing out our smocks.
Yeah.
Blood is flying everywhere.
This has been an accumulation of damage. I believe, the nose was initially injured by the jabs. Oh, good body shot.
It was good jabs.
It was good hard jabs that started early on, and then now it's been uppercuts and hooks from Nunez these last 2 rounds.
You could argue first time in the fight that there's a palpable sense of danger for Baez. Like you said, Chris, starting to wear down a bit.
This is what you want to see from Nunez, right? You want to see him try to turn it up the gears here a little bit. Trying to look exciting.
But also, you want to see a young fighter in with a guy with the experience like a Baez who turns it on late like this, learns as the fight goes on, busts off that ring rust, and then puts some damage on his experienced opponent. Bang. Oof, that lead uppercut, he can't miss.
Yeah, catch and shoot there.
Nice hook over the top on it now. Combo.
Again, staying super calm, picking his shots beautifully here is Nunez.
Combinations off big punches again. It's what was lacking early. It's here now.
Baez not rolling as well with the shots as he was earlier. Now a good combination there from Baez.
He's also flat-footed. He's right in front of Nunez. And like you said, if you're standing right in front of him, Nunez can really put some numbers together. Oh, Baez tough, man.
Tough as a $2 steak at the end of round number 9.
Oh, good body shot by Baez, but return fire with the right hand by Nunez. Nunez undaunted.
Aye, man. Love that double uppercut left hook from Nunez. Great combination.
Again, position. Nunez doesn't break position.
Baez is fighting fire with fire.
I just don't think this is the way for Baez, because again, Nunez has more trouble when he's got to pick up his feet. You stay in front of him trying to trade like this. This is where you give Nunez his best chance of throwing his best punches.
I think the wind is out of the sails of Baez. This is late in the fight. He was moving a lot more than he's used to. He's been getting hit with some good body shots. The nose is busted.
Drive gloves.
Welcome back to ProBox TV and our co-main event of the evening.
He's looking for a way out. He's hitting
Eduardo Baez, a fighter from Mexico. He is battered, he is bloody, but he is firing back. Round number 9. Ready to go. As Baez has been trying to fight fire with fire, but Nunez in better shape, landing better punches. Blood flying out of the ring.
And just wearing Baez down. It's accumulation of punishment at this point. You're seeing Baez all busted up. The nose, a little bit of swelling. And Nunez doing what he's been doing. Trying to close the distance, stalking. See how much both these guys have left here in the 10th and final round.
The question is, will Nunez go for the finish, or is he content in a fight that he's probably ahead to hang on in the 10th round? I think Baez is going to let him.
Baez fighting back, though. He's coming out this round. Last round, he stood right in front of Nunez all round and took a hellacious beating. This round, he came out moving, which, as we've seen throughout the night, has given Nunez trouble.
Nunez playing around a bit.
That's again, but that's the confusion of not knowing what happens when a guy moves. That's where Nunez is going to have trouble, is a guy who knows how to move on him and kind of leave him there, but knows how to box off the movement. Baez moving, but they can't really fight off that move.
No, again, it's not part of his style.
Between the fact that it's not his style, and also the fact that his shoes are horrible, you can't really fight off that move. So right now, Nunez is going to get away with it because he's going to force Baez to fight, and he's going to win this fight. But you can see if somebody just changes range on Nunez, he's going to have a lot of trouble.
Yep. Again, as he steps up in class, the deficiency in his footwork is going to cause problems.
And Baez moves with no jab. Imagine you got a mover that knows how to use his jab.
Earlier tonight, it was Akitsugi. Katsuma Akitsugi. We saw him jab and move and throw in combination. That kind of fighter, a nightmare for just about anyone, but you talk about it, moving and jabbing. If you throw those two things together, might give Nunez a hard night, but he's been good with his own jab tonight.
I like that jab when he uses it, man. I really do. It's a very nice shotgun jab.
Yeah, every once in a while he shows it to us, and it's never a bad thing.
No, it's a good-looking jab. It's effective.
In round 9, he tried to combo off of it, worked very, very effectively. Much less of that in round 10.
But also, it's a damaging jab. We saw the nose of Baez. Now we see it bleeding. Again, I believe that started from the jabs early on.
Saw some good uppercut follow-ups in round 9 for Nunez.
Nunez not really adept at cutting off the ring. Following. Not anticipating where Baez's movement's going to take him.
You guys both said it. I mean, he's going to have trouble with these deficiencies against
good body
step-up guys.
Baez is
but
tough.
Tonight, he has been more than enough. 10 seconds left to go in the 10th and final round. Fighter from the Dominican Republic in charge, but Baez going out throwing that left hand. No surprise there. Throws his hands up in victory. More than likely, he has earned it on the judges' scorecards. He finished strong in this fight, Chris.
Yeah, early on, this is a really nip-tuck affair. Both these guys winging big shots, standing their ground. No one wanted to break position. Nobody wanted to give the other guy any kind of advantage when it came to the real estate. So we had a nice phone booth fight to start out. Not much jabbing, not much footwork early on. Both guys really just staying in front of each other and trading shots. But as the fight wore on, you started to see that Nunez a little stronger, a little more consistent, a little bit tighter with the punches. Started to get the respect of Baez, was able to back him up. Once he broke position, really Nunez took over. He was able to control the center of the ring, keep those power punches flowing, and then he got on that jab, man. Once he got on that jab, I think really that opened up the fight for him, because he started busting up the nose of Baez, was able to put him in position and almost kind of tame him, domesticate him on the outside. Here we saw a lot more of Baez back on the ropes than earlier in the fight.
Really, round number 9, the only round we thought, hey, we might get a stoppage here. Yeah. When you started to turn it up, would you have liked to see a little bit more of that aggression earlier on in the fight?
I think the opportunity was there for it, right, Jim?
Yeah, I think he could have got the stoppage in the 9th. I just think he pulled off the gas. And then 10th round, really, I mean, he didn't do anything in the first 2 minutes, Nunez.
Yeah, because Baez moved. Yeah. And so Nunez just started center ring and showboated. He didn't know how to cut off the ring.
Here's a little bit of that action at the end of round 10. For some decent rounds. Happy holidays to everybody. ProBox TV. Season's beatings to everyone.
We've had a great year with you guys and fans at home.
Oh, it's been great. Lupe Contreras, let us know what the judges think. In the center of the ring, check it out.
Ladies and gentlemen, after going all 10 rounds, the official scorecard reads as follows. Damas, caballeros, después de completar las 10 vueltas, estas son las cifras oficiales de los jueces. Judges Ware and Shipman turn on identical scores of 98 to 92. Los jueces Ware y Shipman entregan tarjetas idénticas de 98 a 92. El juez O'Connor, 99 a 91. Judge O'Connor scores it 99 to 91. All in favor of the winner by way of unanimous decision. Los tres a favor del vencedor por decisión unánime. Ripping the DR, still undefeated. The twist, Luis Nunez.
No surprise there, gentlemen. Nunez on his way to unanimous decision victory. face looked like he just got out of bed and wore the damage very, very well.
And Bob Santos let us know, eh? He's pointing the finger at the camera.
Got his man some airtime. I agree with those scorecards. 98-92 2 times, 99-91 1 time. Pretty dominant.
Yeah.
You know, controlled fight by Nunez. Baez was in there, made it competitive in spots, but really hard to give him too many rounds.
We don't do the matchmaking, but Chris, want to see that step up next time? That got maybe a little better footwork?
Listen, this was a step up in terms of, you know, getting a guy who you've seen on TV before, a guy you've seen in those big fights, a guy you've seen fight former world champions, also a ton of experience. So I like that progression, but I think we need to keep doing this. He's another step up fight in this manner.
Like I said, we don't do the matchmaking. ProBox TV, the matchmaking was done so incredibly well here at ProBox TV in 2024. Some of the best fights. Let's check them out. And what do you say about a hot rod and how fast they can go? That's what the hot rod did on our air in 2024.
Yeah, but you know, the Sullivan, the old man, still had some power. Landed a good left right hand there. And actually backed Hot Rod up. But man, Hot Rod way too sharp that night, way too young. And this was right before he got into the ring with David Morrell Jr. at 175 and gave him fits.
Exactly. Another guy from ProBox TV who ended up getting a big fight.
This is the fight that got them the Morrell fight.
Yep, exactly. He had 2 fights on our air. And then he got that big fight for the Morrell Jr. fight. Really performed well in that.
Yeah.
In this fight, his power was on. You see Sullivan Barrera waved off outside the ring. I want to look at 2025, and we talk about future stars. Paulie, you got to put Nicholas Flas on that list. He's looked dominant in ProBox.
We talked about Akitsugi being really impressive on ProBox TV. Flas is another one right now. I think Flas right now could be a world champion. I would probably pick him against like a Mario Barrios. I think he'd beat him.
At 147, wide open, Chris. Nicholas Flas got to be on the short list.
A lot of holes in the upper echelon of that division, and Nicholas Flas fits in perfectly. Not to mention, he's so much fun to watch. I mean, he's another one of those rhythm guys. He gets in the flow. He finds that flow state. He makes you miss by a hair. He cracks you with hard punches. He builds power as the fight goes on. It's very similar to Akitsugi, really.
Body shots, too.
Yes,
you know, these guys that we say are deceptive and have impressed on ProBox, they typically have a complete attack with the head and body. Akitsugi does it, and Flas does it well, too.
And also, Flas has that ability to stand in front of you, and yet you can't hit him. No. It's weird.
And Flas has been battle-tested. He's been with a lot of tough guys. He's had some upsets. He's got some losses against good fighters. This is a really good fighter.
Flas, of course, looking outstanding on our air. Our September 11th card, Vladimir Hernandez, Raul Garcia, Vladimir Hernandez, Mexican style, gentlemen.
Yeah. This was a sick fight, back and forth. You know, Raul Garcia, we had him on our air. He was super impressive. Even though he lost, he still got an opportunity because he fought hard. He fought the way we were like in ProBox TV. Vladimir Hernandez, perennial tough guy, journeyman, upset guy, gatekeeper, whatever you want to call him. But man, these guys were back and forth all night long. Fantastic matchup.
And you talk about, you know what? I wouldn't even call Hernandez a gatekeeper slash journeyman. Maybe a gatekeeper, not a journeyman, but because he beats a lot a lot of guys. Yeah. Guys got wins over like former world champions and everything.
Dangerous game.
You know, yeah, very dangerous. Yeah. Yeah, a ProBox specialist.
Well, on our he's undefeated, so he's.
Vladimir Hernandez, one of those guys, when the momentum started swinging and he started getting confidence, that's when he took this fight over. Great performance from Vladimir Hernandez. 2025, cannot wait here at ProBox TV.
Subscribe. It's going to be worth it in 2025. Subscribe, guys. We need your numbers.
That's right. Get the ProBox TV app now. Why? You know about our deal with Conlon Boxing, fights in the UK. The Irish fighters, did they not put on a show last time out here on ProBox TV? Oh.
They stole the night. But it doesn't matter what level they're at. They fight with so much heart. It was so much fun. The energy. Gotta love the Irish fans. Also love the Irish fighters when they have their, what do they call it, Jimmy? A domestic dust-up.
Domestic dust-up. I will use that all the time. Our main event yet to come. It's definitely a dust-up. Brazil versus Mexico. Last card of the year. Last main event of the year. Jonhatan Cardoso, Eduardo Ramirez. When we come back to ProBox TV.
or you'll get better. Yeah, it's practice. I don't know. I mean, my vision's not bad. It's not that bad, but I like it because I can see from this stuff. I can see real clear if I got them in. I don't need glasses. Yeah. But what? Yeah, it's just my eye. Like when you get near, I want to. You know what I mean? So I got hold my eye open. And I think I try to push too hard, and it folds the.
It's our last card of 2024. The main event is getting ready to go. In the lightweight division, let's check out the odds. Jonhatan Cardoso, almost a 3-1 favorite over Eduardo Ramirez, but Ramirez much more experienced, especially at the elite level, with the fighter from Brazil tonight, relying on his knockout power. He has finished 15 fighters in his 17 wins. Let's take a look at the tail of the tape. You see Cardoso 6 years younger than his opponent, has a height advantage, a reach advantage, weight about the same. This is a guy, though, he doesn't use his range for the jab. He uses it to knock you out. Lupe Contreras, get our main event going.
We continue with the action here at the ProBox Event Center, Tampa, Florida. This contest, 10 rounds or less on the line. The vacant WBA Continental North America's lightweight title. Este duelo, 10 vueltas. En juego, el título vacante Continental Norteamérica peso ligero de la AMB, or officials, WBA presidente de la AMB, Gilberto Jesús Mendoza. Supervisor, four-time world champion, Jorge Linares. At ringside, our judges scoring, los jueces son Brendan Jackson, Shammy Shipman, along with James O'Connor. And our referee at the sound of the bell will be Christopher Young. And now, ladies and gentlemen, damas y caballeros, we're gonna find out quién es el más macho. The ProBox main event is on now. Presenting first, in the blue corner, presentando la esquina azul, vestido de negro con color plateado. He steps in wearing black with silver trim. He weighed in at the lightweight limit of 135 pounds. Detuvo la báscula al límite de peso ligero, 135 libras. Tonight, he is making his ProBox debut with an outstanding record of 28 victories against only 4 losses, 3 bouts even, and 13 of his victories coming by way of KO. Esta noche, sube por primera vez al cuadrilátero de ProBox TV con un récord excelente de 28 victorias, 4 derrotas, 3 empates y 13 de sus victorias por la vía del knockout. The former world title challenger, representing Gimnasio Cochul Montiel, Los Mochis, Sinaloa, México, Eduardo Zurdito Ramirez. Across the ring, the red corner, en la esquina opuesta, vestido de color negro, he steps in wearing the color black. Su peso oficial, 134 libras y media. His official weight, 134.5 pounds. Tonight, this South American power puncher enters the ring with an official record of 17 victories. 1 lone defeat, 15 victories coming by way of KO. Esta noche, este sudamericano con pólvora en los puños sube al cuadrilátero con un récord de 17 victorias, solo 1 derrota y 15 de sus victorias por la vía del knockout. De Sao Paulo, Brasil, Jonhatan, Maximo, Soares, Cardoso. With final instructions, referee Christopher Young.
Okay, Jimmy, listen, everything on this band is good, everything on this band is good. Jimmy, you know what time it is. For the WBA title, you should fight hard, fight clean, touch them up.
Hard to believe those two men are in the same weight class. Cardoso much bigger than his opponent, Eduardo Ramirez, but Ramirez has faced the better talent. The only time he has been stopped is against Isaac Pitbull Cruz.
Blue corner, you ready? Red corner, you
He's
ready?
been tested by the fire.
Even in that fight, actually, I watched that earlier today. You know, he had a good game plan. He just got caught. You know, and Isaac Cruz is a very fast starter. He's a big puncher.
Lefty versus righty here, guys.
Yeah, one thing that Zurdito did against Isaac Cruz that I think was a mistake is he gave him too much respect. He respected the power of Isaac Cruz and fought on the back foot. He's normally a very aggressive, confident puncher. Now we're seeing him coming right out against a much larger, taller, and power punching Cardoso.
Cardoso on paper is a big punching record as well, but you see Zurdito already trying to give good progress coming forward.
Zurdito, of course, means southpaw in Spanish.
Little lefty.
Southpaw.
Little lefty. Little one.
Keeps coming off his back foot there when he throws that left hand.
That's the big question for me. You know, at this weight class, how effective is Ramirez going to be? You know, his best work was done around 126, 130. You know, this fight here is at lightweight, 135 pounds. And obviously, you're looking at Cardoso, very, very tall, very, very long, very lean.
Cardoso coming out looking like he's trying to work on some things too, because Cardoso, even when he wins, gets hit a lot. So I see like a different body language in Cardoso as well. He's trying to box intelligently at a middle distance off that jab and trying to give that movement. But let's see, because against the southpaw, it can get tricky if you don't move correctly.
Against Adam Lopez last time on ProBox TV, Cardoso, you know, maybe he should have angled a bit more, been a little slicker. No, he stood there against an athletic puncher and got into war. Now, he won that war. But to your point, Paulie, did show that, you know, maybe he doesn't make the right tactical decisions all the time when he needs to.
Well, I mean, Lopez is much more of a jabber anyways. I think he was getting out jabbed and decided he needed to fight him in order to be successful. And it worked out, obviously, but he had to dig deep in that fight. Adam Lopez has a ton of experience, has been at the world-class level. And that was a huge win for Cardoso.
But you got to keep in mind, if you're going to be boxing, it's got to be effective boxing. Otherwise, you're better off just going back to what you normally do.
Well, that might end up happening.
Yeah, he's trying to box, trying to be on the outside, but Zurdito's keeping him, you know, kind of uncomfortable walking around. Cardoso has tried to use some jabs. Not a lot have gotten through, but I like the fact that he's using them. Let's see if he can build off that.
Paulie, it's one of the truisms of combat sports is that no matter what it is, kickboxing, boxing, MMA, the veterans have a way of making you work all the time, right? They kind of make you uncomfortable with everything they do.
Yeah, and we talk about Ramirez is a veteran because, you know, he's been in with some of the best fighters in the world. Good combination there.
Ramirez did a good job using throwaway punches to land the ones that he wants. You know, real veteran tactic there, making it uncomfortable, being tricky, being elusive, not coming in the front door all the time, changing levels on the way in. Good stuff here from Ramirez here in round one. Nicely timed right hand there from Cardoso. Gets his head offline. Good weapon against the southpaw.
Coming back with a straight left. Does Ramirez.
Very good. Good job. How you feel? Good? Very good.
Welcome back to our main event here on ProBox TV. Last one of 2024. And a very active round number one for that man, Eduardo Ramirez. Coming out of that southpaw stance, and he was busy in that southpaw stance in round one.
Yeah, I think both men showed what their tactics are tonight in round number one. Zurdito is going to be elusive, tricky. He's going to use a lot of energy to get in and out with the taller man. And Cardoso looks like he's going to box tonight. He's going to use that jab. He's obviously been working on things, been fighting a southpaw, moving out to that left side, staying invisible, using the jab.
You can see what Cardoso's been working on. Now can he make it, can he work on it in this fight enough to bring him to a victory using these tactics? Or is he going to have to go back to what he usually does and take some chances?
Cardoso, a very wide stance in every fight, but it can be hard to maybe out-angle a guy from the southpaw stance who wants to move. That's the question.
I was going to mention that in round one. Ramirez has a tendency to fall forward when he overthrows the left hand.
Yeah, he lifts that
very
back
square.
foot.
Yeah,
Lifts that back foot a lot.
There's going to be a lot of opportunities for Cardoso to yes, that was exactly what I was with the right uppercut off the rear hand for Cardoso to counter that movement.
Saw Cardoso try one earlier this round. Let's see if he finds a spot for it. Again, Zurdito keeps him busy, though. You talk about those throwaway punches. He throws a lot of those mid-range deceptive punches that he doesn't put everything on them, just to try to keep Cardoso defensive and busy.
Changes levels, too. Nice. Yeah. Right there. Did it again. Drop down.
Clash of heads.
No surprise there.
Look at that orthodox southpaw. Ooh, nice for a right hand step off. Good shot there from Cardoso.
Cardoso's trying to get aggressive.
Headbutt woke him up.
Yeah, now he's holding his ground a little bit with his hands up.
Yeah, he's definitely cutting off the ring knife. There's the uppercut we spoke about. Yeah, nice little pull there. He's got opportunities to counter, does Cardoso, because he's got the long arms. Nice feint. Cardoso's definitely been working. He's been in the lab. Ooh. Nice straight left hand down the middle from Zurdito.
Yeah, you see Mark Ferre in the corner with Cardoso. You saw him in the corner with Edgar Belanga, so that experienced corner in the Cardoso coming out with his game plan. And we see, like you said, Champ, he's been in the lab working on some things. Not as reckless tonight, but you can see now he's picking up the aggression intelligently here.
Cardoso a step up in terms of experience of the opposition, but certainly a step up in size for Ramirez. Tell that by looking at him.
Yeah, I think he's got to be the biggest guy he's ever fought. He fought Isak Cruz. Isak Cruz is short.
Not a big dude.
Yeah, nope. 5'3", you know, and he's not a big 35-pounder, even though he's been up to 40 before, but Cardoso very, very big for this weight class. You know, he's a young man I've had the chance to talk to quite a bit in between fights. Is Cardoso. He's extremely, extremely hungry. Absolutely dedicated to the sport. Put a lot of pressure here on Zurdito. Smart pressure, too.
Certainly more physical pressure from Cardoso, the harder puncher in round number 2. But Ramirez, you know, I haven't also seen that intimidation of Ramirez. He gets pushed around. He comes out for that combination.
Yeah, he's an experienced guy. You're not going to intimidate him as a prospect.
And like I said from the top, he actually fights very confidently. And I've seen that in his past fights. He's aggressive. He's confident. You know, he finds ways to win. He's in that kind of situation again tonight.
Here's the clash of heads from round number 2.
Ooh, yeah. Surprised Cardoso didn't get cut with that. That was right on the eyebrow.
Yeah, because that was ripping across.
Yep. And also, it's one of the difficulties of being the taller guy. That shorter guy comes up and headbutts you every time.
Yeah, it's rare the shorter guy gets cut in these kind of head clashes with a taller guy.
So far looks good. Neither guy cut. Ramirez very busy in round number 1, but some good adjustments from Cardoso in round number 2.
Have to agree with that. I really like what Cardoso is doing in this fight tonight. A little slow in round 1, but round 2 picked it up, put a little more pressure on Zurdito, and I think that was a smart move.
This one's scheduled for 10, start of round number 3. The Brazilian in the black. Ramirez from Mexico in the black and platinum.
Cardoso good about pumping the left jab. I mean, beautiful, beautiful work here. Staying very consistent with that left hand. One of the most consistent jabbers we've had all night today. Good uppercut on the inside there as well, picking his spots beautifully.
Cardoso's starting to see the spots for the uppercuts. At least he's looking for it, because this is the kind of opponent you can actually look for the uppercut with. Can't be too reckless as you see Zurdito comes over the top with the left hand. No. But there are spots to use it, and Cardoso's starting to see it and look for it.
See that angle he cut there, champ? Right off the rope? That was beautiful. Really stepped out, put Zurdito back against the ropes.
Once again, Jamie, he's been in the lab.
Yeah, you see it. You see it. It's on display tonight.
Definitely a more tactical fight than I expected so far.
And we've been talking for the past couple weeks in our big fight preview about Cardoso being kind of a face-first puncher, exciting guy. We're not seeing that tonight. We're seeing a boxer puncher.
Yeah. And we're seeing if Zurdito can force him into that kind of fight, where at times you see him step up the pressure and make Cardoso a little bit uncomfortable. Waiting to see if he turns into the Incredible Hulk.
I'm also
at a certain point.
It's a great point, but I'm also curious if that's actually going to help Zurdito if he gets him into a firefight, because the guy can punch.
Yeah, it may not, but it'll help us have more fun.
True. Nice counter body shot there from Cardoso on the inside. Ay, nice combination. Climbing the tall body of Cardoso is Ramirez.
He's the shorter man, but he's fought well for his build so far.
Oh, he's got an excellent game plan. He knows how to fight a taller man. He knows how to fight an orthodox fighter. And one thing about Ramirez, I'll say that you can tell during the interview, very, very serious young man.
Yeah.
Very, very locked in, very serious.
Good right hands there from Cardoso. That's one thing he's found in this fight is the right hands. I don't know if he's found enough of them as the uppercut as well. Straight right hands and then right uppercuts have been a good shot for Cardoso to use. Well, Zurdito has been a busy guy and sometimes has put some nice combinations together.
Good work with the right hook over the top for Ramirez.
Ooh. Good feint work here from Cardoso.
Yeah, Cardoso makes you break position with the feints very well.
Following a little bit here, though.
Changing levels. Now, sometimes it is a little more complicated to cut off against the opposite stance because you got to go towards the cross that you don't want to see.
Both guys trying to make the other overextend themselves and counter. You saw Zurdito do that very well there.
Ramirez throwing good combinations. Nice left hand.
Yeah, good round for Ramirez.
Starting our hands over and stop going to your right. Let's go to your left. After you throw, move your head and look to go again. You're letting him throw, hit you, and then he's throwing again. You're standing right there. That's not what we train for.
Welcome back as we get ready for round number 4, a very competitive round number 3. Ramirez doing good work.
Yeah, I like the work from Ramirez in that round. He was utilizing that southpaw position very well. We saw him rip up that combination where he climbed the body.
Yeah, I like Ramirez not looking for one shot. You see, he puts the numbers together. He knows he's a smaller guy. Put the numbers together, run those numbers. Cardoso sometimes gets into the trap of looking for one shot. He looks for that straight right hand. He looks for that right uppercut. Doesn't follow it up when he does land it.
Anybody remember Meldrick Taylor?
Oh, yeah.
Start at the ribs and go up.
I was going to say, like, Ramirez is working very hard. It's funny you bring up Meldrick Taylor. That guy worked hard every single
time. Yep.
Volume puncher, fast hands, incredible gas tank.
Cardoso, the puncher from Brazil, wasn't really able to make his power a factor in that 3rd round. It's been a back and forth fight so far.
Cardoso is looking for that nice shuttle punch to the body with the right hand. It's like an uppercut behind the elbow. Oof, good left hand from Ramirez.
And Zurdito doing something smart again, backing up the puncher now, starting to back him up more and more. You make the puncher more ineffective when you back him up, and Zurdito starting to get that momentum of backing up with Cardoso. Another good little spin move by Cardoso. Can he turn the tide now?
I like the variety of the right hand, the left hands, excuse me, from Ramirez. He's looping it. He's throwing it straight. He's throwing it to the body. He's changing levels with it. A lot of variety with that left hand.
And it seems as though, gentlemen, he settled on, look, this guy's a puncher. Every time he gets set, I'm going to pop it. But can't really set his hips to land those power punches.
And the shot selection is on the side of Zurdito right now. He's starting to really take control of the fight.
Yeah, he's found his rhythm.
I tell you, Cardoso may have to revert back to his old tactics if he wants to win this fight.
A little blood around the right nostril of Cardoso.
I got Ramirez ahead, so I agree with you, champ. I think that Cardoso, maybe not the best time to try a new tactic. I think he should go back to what he does. He's a power puncher. Come forward, let those hands go. Oh, good right hand. Good right hand stuns Zurdito.
First time we've seen that. The power of Cardoso now being a factor. As he has Ramirez up against the ropes.
Well, we woke up the sleeping giant. Here he comes. Good right hand again.
That's what it's got to be for Cardoso. I think it's got to be this kind of fight. I understand he wants to work on things, but he's not going to be good enough at those things.
Like I said, this is not the fight to work on things. You're fighting a guy with a ton of experience, who's very hungry, came in great shape. Oh, another good right hand from Cardoso, but back comes Zurdito.
And a tricky southpaw.
That too.
And Cardoso trying to back Ramirez up. Oh, another good right hand.
You're seeing these punches are starting to affect Ramirez.
But also smart, slick defense on the inside by Ramirez. He doesn't allow himself to get hit with the follow-up.
Yeah, ducks his head well. He smothers on the inside, making Cardoso work very hard here.
And he's holding on opposite the referee.
Smart, very, very smart. Oh, ref caught it though. Ref caught it.
The B-hop special. Which side is around himself? Hit him on the other side.
Yeah. Himself there.
Insulted him a little bit. You did.
Numbers are starting to run for both guys now. See again, Zurdito needs to try to keep back on Cardoso. Cardoso on the front foot is more dangerous.
See there, they traded right hands, but Cardoso's bigger.
Gentlemen, you called it. Needs to go back to his style. All right, I'm the bigger puncher. Time to throw big punches. He did that in round 4.
Right on cue.
It's going to work.
Right on cue. Good round for Ramirez in round 3. Great round for Cardoso in round 4. And it came off power punches. Yep. He landed a good right hand that backed Ramirez up right to the ropes. And then we saw him starting to hold, starting to be tricky on the inside. Was feeling more and more uncomfortable from the power punching of Cardoso.
It's like Cardoso suddenly realized, you know what, I shouldn't box with this guy.
Yeah. Sometimes you don't need that in your life.
No.
Leopard can't change his spots.
Yeah, who brought you to the dance? Your power.
Right.
All right, stay with that.
Power and gas tank. He showed that Adam Lopez fight. He's got a very, very deep gas tank.
You want to try something new? Do it in the gym. That's what Cardoso has decided to do.
And make sure it works in the gym before you bring it to the fight. You know?
Exactly. Round number 5 and what has been, as far as the rounds have gone, a back and forth fight, quite literally.
Yeah, it's a very even fight, very competitive. I don't think either man has really established themselves as the guy who's going to be in control tonight. This fight is very much up for grabs. Oh, good
nice
overhand shot, and another overhand, that time with the left hand from Zurdito.
And now, Zurdito trying to smother the punches of Cardoso.
Going to the body, smart move, you got a puncher. Oh, back comes Cardoso. Oof.
Ramirez now trying to change strategies.
Very chippy stuff here on the inside from both guys.
This kind of fight is, you know, it's sometimes I hate to always judge a fight based on who's coming forward, but whoever's coming forward tends to have the advantage here simply because the guy backing up, it doesn't fight well backing up.
Oh, Cardoso just got hit with a big left hand, buckled the knee.
Yeah, when he gets backed up.
Neither guy, Paulie, is a trap setter with footwork.
Yeah.
They move forward, you're going to get him.
You know, sometimes, you know, I say it's judging for dummies just to give it to the guy coming forward. But in this fight, the guy getting backed up really becomes very ineffective.
Cardoso from Brazil. He's boxed in the U.S., of course, Mexico, Panama, all over the world so far.
Good body shots on the inside there. I just feel like Cardoso is just so much better when he's fighting like in a panicked rush. Yeah. Like he's got a face like he's like in danger. He fights well like that. Oh, good uppercut there on the inside from Zurdito.
And also 2 pointers. He has the physical advantage, the bigger guy. If you come forward and make the guy feel that pressure, might get something done against a very slick Ramirez.
You know, I know we mentioned at the Open that Cardoso has been stopped, and he got stopped in the first round. You know, that was a number of fights ago, but he's actually shown pretty good punch resistance in his last couple fights, even though he's been stepping up.
Ramirez crafty on the inside, so he doesn't let himself get hit to it cleanly.
Ramirez also does a very good job of presenting a very small target. Stays in good position, hand position, stays crouched over. You're a small guy, be small.
He has fought many times on the world stage, and it shows with experienced combinations like that.
Yeah, these guys are going back and forth in these rounds. Back and forth, back and forth. No one can establish and keep control.
Move, counter move. This has been a chess match in the ring in this main event so far.
Tons of pressure being poured on by Cardoso, but Ramirez is landing the cleaner and more effective shots this round.
We are halfway through our last main event of 2024, and it has been outstanding so far.
Yeah, I mean, this is a great way to end the year. Our last main event of the year. These two are going at it, going tit for tat, back and forth, round after round. As I said, but last round, fight very much up for grabs.
Yeah, as we're at the halfway point, somebody's going to have to separate themselves a little bit in the second half of the fight because they were very close in this first half of the fight.
I would say Ramirez is taking the odd rounds, and Cardoso's taking the even ones.
I mean, that's how I got it, Jimmy. Let's see if Ramirez can right the ship here, take this round back, even it up. Well placed, well timed, the left hands from the southpaw.
And it seems like every time Cardoso, the superior puncher, 15 knockouts and 17 wins, is setting his hips and ready to go, that hand is waiting for him.
Yep. This guy knows how to fight.
Yeah, you can see the veteran tactics. You see also Ramirez, what he does, he takes away space. When he runs out of room to get away, he takes away space by smothering. He tried it there, he got hit with an uppercut. And that's what Cardoso, you'd like to see more of when Ramirez tries that smother move. That's the time to use the uppercut.
He got away from that last round. He's found a home for it once again. Good pullback there from.
Well, that's the thing about seeing a guy round after round. You know, the difference in the pros is you start to get a hang on his timing and the patterns that he's giving you. And that's the pattern Ramirez is giving you. He gives you that distance. Then when he runs out of room, he's going to try to smother.
That's one of the things right there. You know, as you get up, pattern recognition. The best fighters in the world do that at a very, very high pace. Good round for Cardoso here, put on a ton of pressure, been more effective with the uppercut.
We're in an even round, guys.
What do you expect?
This is just one of those fights.
And you see the holding there. Ramirez has gotten away with a lot of that on the inside, by the way. You know, but he studs it smartly. He does it on the opposite side of where the ref is standing.
He has been warned, though. He did get buzzed a few rounds ago and was holding on the inside. The ref did warn him.
And does it slyly, though. He holds the opposite hand of where the side the referee is standing.
Always with that outside step. As the fighter from Mexico at the end of his combinations, just like that, doesn't let himself get trapped and fires right back.
He's fighting well off his back foot. Is Ramirez here? Oh,
you talk about luck, Chris. Your feet being underneath you during the fight, and Ramirez, every time he moves, his feet are underneath him.
Yes, he does that very, very well, whether he's coming forward or backward. You know, a fighter who can fight both directions is really tricky. And Ramirez, like I said, this guy knows how to fight.
Both guys have traded good body shots there in the past 10 seconds or so.
You know, Cardoso more and more becoming the effort guy in the ring.
Good sharp left hand there by Ramirez.
Yeah, Cardoso needs to get that back if he wants to keep this round.
What kind of style do you like? What kind of punch do you like? That could be the question in this very even fight. Welcome back. About to begin round number 7 of our main event. For an even round, that was a close one. Even rounds have so far belonged to Cardoso. That was a very close round 6.
Yeah, I think majority of the round you probably lean towards Cardoso, but I mean Ramirez came on late, and a lot of times that last thought that a judge sees can sway the round. So that's a tricky round to score.
It's called stealing rounds for a reason.
Yep. That's going to be an interesting one to see on the official scorecards once we have the end of this fight.
And also, what's so interesting, Cardoso, we say it over and over and over again, 17 wins, 15 knockouts, he's the better puncher. Ramirez has landed the more eye-catching shots,
yes.
The bing, the clean, looking up at the ceiling shots.
But also, Jimmy, a lot of times when you got a good, nice, eye-catching shot. Yeah, talk about eye-catching shot. One thing about another thing about being a tall fighter. A lot of times the punches are a lot more visible. And also, I tell all these young fighters, cut your hair. Cut your hair. It looks so dramatic when you get hit.
Sweat flies everywhere.
Yeah, even when you block it, the hair moves. It looks like you're taking a harder shot.
Champ, how often was your hair short?
What's that?
How often was your hair that short?
In fights?
Yeah.
Most of my career. Not all of it, though.
Well, you had that quaff.
I did at times.
Don't you know we're talking to Chris Algieri here?
Sometimes styles.
At the end of my career, I got smarter, and I cut my hair a lot shorter.
I gotta look good. Doesn't matter if I'm winning or losing.
Shit, I had cornrows a few times, so.
Now Ramirez.
Nice double, triple jab.
Trying to deal with the length and power of the fighter from Brazil. Cardoso in stalking mode. Cardoso thought he would get a walkover kind of fight against a guy who's been at the top, doesn't have much left. That is not the case tonight.
No. I mean, I think he prepared. He was going to try something out, try his boxing, but he's getting back to it here, actually pretty efficiently. This is where that gas tank comes into play because Cardoso seems to have an endless gas tank. We saw that in the Adam Lopez fight, really poured it on. And for a guy who cuts a lot of weight, he's big for the weight class. Surprising that he has such late energy.
Yeah, but second half of rounds at times, he has trouble closing that final 6 inches.
Yeah, like sealing the deal.
Yeah. And Ramirez starts to catch him coming there.
That's what I mean about those straight lefts that get your attention.
Well, now he's living up to what we were saying before about he's a guy who comes in the front door a lot. He gets hit with shots. He's aggressive.
Ramirez always something in the face of Cardoso.
Good change of direction there by Ramirez. You see, went one way, went the other way.
Heads came together there a little bit.
And that's why Cardoso has to cut off the ring a little bit, like you mentioned a couple of rounds of the champ.
Yeah, he's following a little too much, hitting very square.
When you're following, you see, he changes directions in one way, then he's going to go the other way, and it throws you off. You see?
But also when Cardoso gets hit in these positions, his head pops way up in the air. You get that Pez dispenser neck.
A shot there by Cardoso.
It's a good round for Cardoso.
More action in round number 7. Cardoso starting out strong, but Ramirez, that footwork, that tenacity on display.
Yeah, that was a nice answer. You got Ramirez who reached a little bit, got a little head over his skis trying to go to the body, and Cardoso made him pay for it with a good right hand, but then back came Zurdito with his left hand, pops the head back.
Runs a tit for tat.
Tit for tat, man. Really good
Some tough ones to score here.
Do not want to be a judge tonight with this fight. As I said, it might be the style you like, the kind of punch you like.
Also, the angle you see the punch land. That's the thing. People got to understand that. So judges are at the 3 different corners of the ring, so they're getting different vantage points.
And typically, they do not have what we have here. It's what we call program, which is what you're seeing at home. They don't see that.
Yeah, they don't get replays. They don't get different angles. They see the one angle, the one perspective that they see, and they have to judge from that.
And in round number 8, scheduled for 10, Jonhatan Cardoso from Brazil in the black trunks. Only 1 loss in his career, in his 18-fight career.
Neither one of these guys have the luxury to keep their foot off the gas pedal here.
It might come down to exactly that, Chris. Who has the gas tank? Traditionally, we talk about Cardoso's ability to finish strong, but he's in there with a different animal tonight.
Ramirez is pushing him back, though. He's physically pushing back the bigger man.
Yeah, and Cardoso doesn't have the presence of mind to understand that Ramirez is smothering him there, you know? He doesn't know how to create that space. Good exchanges from both guys, but the spacing is not to Cardoso's liking.
But really, if you think about it, Cardoso has only recently stepped up in class in his last 3 fights. You know, a lot of those fights were a lot of builder fights on the way up.
Ramirez has been in the fire 4 years, taking on top guys.
4 years fighting tip-top guys. Yeah, a lot of smother tactics from Ramirez here. Not a whole lot of punching.
But that's what I'm saying, where Cardoso should recognize the right uppercut. You know, because Ramirez is going to try to do that, and see, he gives you that. And Cardoso just not seeing it enough for me.
There's an uppercut. Nice lead uppercut that time.
Yeah, with the lead hand.
That was always my favorite punch against the southpaw. The lead left uppercut goes outside the eye range, visibility range, and it comes off that elbow.
I like that one underneath their jab, but typically against southpaws, I like the backhand uppercut, the right uppercut. Good shots there from Cardoso. Now he's backing up Ramirez.
I almost never threw the right hand uppercut because I had a broken thumb most of my career. You had a really good right uppercut, but me, it was always my left hand.
Blood around the nose of Cardoso. That's been a problem throughout this fight.
I'm getting hit.
Yeah.
Walking into left hands.
He's having himself a pretty good round this round, though.
Yep. Yes. Cardoso, I think, just from activity, he's the effort guy tonight.
Yeah, Ramirez has been doing a lot of smothering this round.
Ramirez seems like he's taking a round off. He's got 2 big rounds left in him.
Yeah, a little bit of damage control, maybe.
Understanding where he is in the fight, which is another veteran tactic.
As you pointed out, he has finished strong in close rounds. Don't know if it's been enough. Won't find out for at least another couple rounds as we get ready for round number 9.
Yeah, I would think that Ramirez was in a pretty deep hole in this one. He was not busy enough for my liking.
To go in our main event scheduled for 10. We're looking into the corner of Eduardo Ramirez from Sinaloa, Mexico. Put on a veteran performance tonight. He's found ways to negate the power of Cardoso, but last round, Cardoso able to be the superior puncher. There was some smothering going on. Ramirez not punching in round number 8.
Maximum effort. It was, his name is Maximos, and his maximum effort that last round. Ramirez looked like he took a round off. We'll see if he was saving it for these last 2 rounds, trying to really put a statement, an exclamation point on this fight tonight, which I think he's going to need it.
Yeah, I think these 2 rounds are must-win for both guys.
Yes.
No, you can't really tell where the fight is at. It's that close. I'm looking at the comments from our YouTube page, and it's the same with the fans as well. They have it, kind of mixed results as well on their cards. And I think these 2 rounds are going to be very, very important for both guys here as we try to close these last couple of rounds. Let's see who wants this fight more.
And yeah, this is going to come down to will and gas tank at this point.
Cardoso has shown a lot of will, just that hasn't shown a lot of the intelligence. And then while Ramirez has shown some veteran tactics, and then it's kind of snuck in rounds with his veteran tactics. Nice
uppercut in there from Cardoso. That's the punch we've been talking about all night. Well, especially when Ramirez is falling forward the way he is now. That posture where he's got his head over his front foot, that uppercut is home.
Nice shot. First time we've seen Cardoso staggered. Good uppercut again.
Oh, he's rocked.
He is rocked. His legs are not under him.
Ramirez reinvigorated here. Gets hit with a big right hand, though.
That backed him off a bit, Chris.
He's thinking twice now.
Pawn at his face. He's blinking. That could have turned the tide for Cardoso.
Yeah, his feet look a little heavy, Ramirez, after that right hand.
Yeah, he got to hit with himself.
Yeah.
Oh, another good hook over the top.
Both guys, tons of will. And I think Ramirez probably the more skilled guy. Cardoso the guy putting more effort. Cardoso's smart. He's gonna pour it on the end of this round. He's got to get that back.
Yeah.
For the first time in this fight, danger for Cardoso.
Oh, big cut.
Big cut.
Big cut over the eye of Ramirez.
Pawing at it now.
I didn't see a clash of heads. What?
No, referee has not signaled clash of heads either.
That's a bad cut.
Yep.
Unfortunately for him, only a round left, but let's see. Ramirez likes that directional change. He'll go left, he'll go right, and Cardoso, being that he follows and doesn't cut off the ring, it works against Cardoso, that kind of movement.
10 seconds.
Man, what a great round number 9.
Blood from the nose of Cardoso, blood from the eye of Ramirez. These guys battling it out.
Smock worthy. Ladies and gentlemen, we've got our smocks on. That's a bad cut right over the eye.
That's wicked.
That's deep.
Wide open.
Well, we have a clash of heads. Did that cause the cut? Tell me, gentlemen.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a nice one.
That was a hard head. Yep. That was it. I didn't see that the first time around, so that's where that cut's from. I didn't see the ref signal either.
The referee doesn't signal. You have to assume.
Oh, no, there we go.
There he just did.
Yep.
What is it, headbutt?
Yep, that's what he said. Clash of heads.
Hey, Chris Young is on it.
No, yeah. Always is. Always is. One of the best in the biz.
You know what? Either way, is 1 round left.
I mean, yeah. The only thing is, could it have swayed? Because both guys were hurt, and then blood starts flowing. Yeah. You know how judges are. That could,
shouldn't, but
it does.
We're talking about. Let me not say.
Round. You don't have to, Paulie. Round number 10. 10th and final round, final main event of 2024 here on ProBox TV. What a great back and forth fight. What a great round number 9.
Yeah, this has been an excellent fight. Fought at a very high level. Both guys, great game plans, back and forth action, splitting rounds as we've gone.
And I'm going to let you guys know right now, both sides are going to think they won this fight.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Oh, this is when you got to fight this competitor, this is what it's going to be.
Couldn't tell you who's winning, couldn't tell you who's ahead.
Cardoso trying to get this last round now.
He was rocked in round number 9, came back, landed a right hand that seemed to rock Ramirez.
Ramirez seemed to be trying to take off the first half of this round. I can see him big right hand there by Cardoso, but I can see Ramirez trying to turn it on in the second half of this round because he's trying to damage control in the first half of this round so far.
Oh, good stiff, nice long jab there from Cardoso. Another one. Cardoso piling up points, though, in the first minute.
Yep. What do you say all the time, Paulie? Veterans tend to win rounds, not fights.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I mean, he's not busy, but he's also not taking a whole lot of damage. He's losing the first half of the round for sure, but he's not being assaulted. So let's see if he's going to have enough to come back in the second half of the round. Because it seems like this body language, that's what he's doing. He's sort of trying to manage the clock.
Yeah, but he's
like you said, Jim.
more and more. Points. We're about halfway through this round, and he's pretty much been dominated.
Yeah, now it's about the time when he's supposed to be turning it up.
The great Emmanuel Stewart said it. Can't take your punches home with you. Throw them while you got them.
Oh,
minute 20 left in round 10.
Right hand right on that damaged eye.
Can the puncher from Brazil get another stoppage?
He's putting on a ton of pressure here in the 10th round.
And Ramirez has finished strong in rounds throughout this fight. Can he do it again?
Nice head movement there from
Cardoso's good. Sometimes Cardoso's the kind of guy who gets mad when you miss him, but there he made him.
Well, he needs it in this round.
Yeah. Good left hand there by Ramirez.
You know, Champ, you mentioned that at the end of this fight, both guys are going to feel like they won the fight. And generally, in our main events, it's either knockout of the year or that.
Yeah.
Whereas both guys are like, I think I won the fight, I want a rematch. Because that's how competitive our fights are.
Win or lose, I got to say, I want to see both of these fighters again in 2025.
How about that shot? That was a tricky punch.
Yeah. Cardoso having himself a really good 10th. He got it back after that 9th round that probably didn't go his way.
Champ, this is the most dominant round of the fight for either man. Yeah. I think Cardoso has been in complete control. Yeah. We've got 20 seconds left in this round.
Ramirez may end up kicking himself for not trying this round. Let's see. Either
15 seconds till we go ahead to the judges.
Either way, I still think both guys are going to feel like they won the fight.
Cardoso probably wishes there's 2 more rounds.
10 seconds left. Well, the Brazilian looks ready to unload. Good right hand. Ramirez answering back. Great exchange to finish this fight.
Good fight. Very good
Outstanding. Now all they can do is wait to hear what the judges have to say. Man.
Cardoso just doesn't know how to be in an easy fight.
No.
Exactly.
But honestly, Champ, though, he came out boxing. I wonder if he started the brawl earlier, if we'd have a different discussion right now.
Yeah. Trying to change his identity, maybe to extend his career, but
you got to take your hat off to Ramirez. He boxed so tricky so perfectly against a big puncher.
Just crafty, crafty, clever, sneaky, all of it. Everything you would expect from a veteran.
He was the alley cat tonight. Veteran of 1,000,000 fights. It's exactly how he fought tonight.
This is one of those fights you could probably watch back 3-4 times, score it differently every time.
Yeah.
But entertaining nonetheless. Good back and forth action throughout. Both these guys fighting at a very high level. And at a pretty fast clip. A lot of punches were thrown.
And just when you thought somebody was going to take the advantage, the other guy would come back in the next round. You know, it was back and forth the whole time. All the way up until the last couple of rounds where I said they needed the last couple of rounds. I feel like they split those last couple of rounds.
That always reminds me of De La Hoya Vargas. Like, it was like they're just trading rounds, splitting rounds. You get round 1, I get round 2, you get round 3, you get round 4. These guys were like that all night.
And even in our comments, I'm looking at it's going both ways. I mean, I see comments from both sides. Even possible draw. Let's see.
That could be in round number 9. After that right hand, what I didn't like is you could see Ramirez blinking and pawing at his face a lot. And that's usually a sign that you got shocked and you're trying to kind of get a handle on what's going on.
Well, he had just rocked Cardoso with a good right hook, and we saw his knee buckle, and then he was going in for the kill and just walked into a right hand. It's a shot you don't see that hurts you the most. It seemed like that was the case there in that 9th round.
We have our judges' scorecards to end all suspense. Lupe Contreras. What's going on with our main event?
After completing all 10 rounds inside the ProBox TV ring, we consult the official scorecard. Después de completar las 10 vueltas, consultamos a la tarjeta oficial. Judge Jackson scores at 97-93. El juez Jackson anotó 97-93. Y los jueces Shipman y O'Connor entregan tarjetas idénticas de 96-94. Judges Shipman and O'Connor scored about identically at 96-94. All 3 in favor of the winner by way of unanimous decision. Los 3 a favor del vencedor por decisión unánime. And now, WBA Continental North America Lightweight Champion. From Brazil, Maximo Jonhatan Soares.
Cardoso.
7-3 was a little wide for me.
Yeah, 7-3's a little wide.
But
6-4, the last round seals it.
Totally fair.
6-4. That last round, I remember I said during the last round, Ramirez may kick himself for just giving up the last round. He didn't really go for it. I thought he was going to save himself for the second half of that round. He never really tried to win it. It would have been a draw. Instead, he calls himself the fight.
It would have been 5 rounds to 5.
Yeah, and like I said, that was the most definitive round of either man all night long, was the 10th round, because Ramirez just didn't fight.
And justifiably, it was a difference maker.
Yep. Right man won, so put it that way.
That's an excited young Brazilian. Two fighters I want to see again in 2025. Incredible for performance for both fighters. Our last main event of the year certainly lives up to the hype. All smiles. What does the future hold for that young man? Now 18 professional wins against just 1 defeat, but make no mistake, he earned it tonight against a very tough veteran in Eduardo Ramirez. That was an absolutely fantastic fight, the kind of competitive fights you've come to expect here on ProBox TV.
Yeah, absolutely. Great fight, back and forth action. Both guys really going for it. I mean, really came down to the last round. We kept saying it. Just the effort man figured it out. You know, that's who got the nod. He put more effort in that last round, and that seemed to be the difference.
You know, he's never in an easy fight, but it's exciting for us to watch. But, you know, for himself, you know, I know he tried earlier in the fight. He tried to make it an easier fight. He tried to say, let me be smart and not always be a cardiac kid. But I don't think he knows how to fight any other way. I know sometimes they say you'll extend your career, but if he fights too safely, he's going to lose so much, he's not going to extend his career anyway. So it's all in or bust for Cardoso every time he fights.
Especially tough to do with a veteran, wily southpaw to come out and start jabbing.
Yeah, it's true too.
What is so great about that fight is you see the things Cardoso is going to have to go back to the gym and improve if he wants to elevate his game in 2025. But we saw the things that are still great. His power is there. His gas is there. He finished. Very strong, bright future for him, Chris.
Absolutely. And I told you, I talked to this young man in between these fights. He is so hungry. This is his everything. You saw that in the way that he reacted to the win. You know, I'm happy for him. He puts in the hard work. He stays in the gym. Obviously works on his craft in between fights. Can't wait to see what's next for him in 2025.
25. Ramirez, he is not used up. He had a great fight.
No, I mean, we're here on ProBox especially. You give us good fights, we'll bring you back. I mean, I think Ramirez is going to be welcome back on ProBox TV. He makes good fights. He's crafty. He's fun as well. He comes to fight. And honestly, this wasn't the ideal weight class for him either, and he still could put up a great fight against Cardoso.
When they squared off before the fight began, it's hard to believe those two fighters were in the same weight class, but Ramirez using every trick in the book to keep the power puncher at a distance through great combinations. A fantastic performance for him, but it's been a great 2024. Great action tonight in our final fight of the year, but we want to give a big thanks to all the fans online, YouTube, download the ProBox TV app who have been with us all year, watching these outstanding fights, these outstanding knockouts. We do it all for you, and we want to wish every single one of you a great holiday season, a fantastic new year, and I'm telling you, right here ringside at ProBox TV, there's nowhere I would rather be. Join us in 2025. So much to come here on ProBox.